Papa, Yame Instagram say, Munina Muni, Esia, Ewa Hasi, and now Juada, a Juma Bebre, ye bid him come also bebre, and some Namacha, a Dawson. Need I call my journey on Facebook, thank you, need I Kunyamin Show. Sounds so now, Stevens has joined your Facebook page, but before, and ye bear Jumano, ye Francis Otre. It was a network for societal transformation. Network for societal transformation. Next. One more has say, okay, last week you did Koma, Kwabena, yeah, almost Saturday, Jume, this week is so I shall save you. And for so family, be me to dupe na eti asamke to be Era Francis Otre, the Bremo. Uncle Francis, Pacho. Akwaba
ye ni anana
pacho kaja to mienko
na me da so pa edikan no ye betie for yesre a network for societal transformation ayi trinity a friend nest ye ho asem na awie wasungu so a wotie ebia na onte ye ho asem da na ene edikan a otie ho asem a ejumekuwa juma ye dia ne se ye kyerɛkyerɛ enyume bi a onipa bi a emfa ho ne se de otie enyuma ye kyerɛkyerɛ ne ye no obi abetimi ayebi enyuma ya ne ye kyerɛkyerɛ ne ye no obi hia skakɛsie bia ansa na wahyase obi hia sɛ obenya store bi office bi ansa na wahyase ayemfaso ayenhyira amenipa bebree wɔ man mu yesrɛ mfie dunum nie ɛna ye de hyɛ dwumedi ase ayemfaso de amenipa pii ebia na otie mi awie ɛnɛ baabi a ewiase aduro no yenhyɛ da nya dwuma baako wotnase on one source of income anhwa ede ahokyere beba ene yenya dwuma baako adwuma bi a oyɛ no unya enyuma kakren bi ka ho a ya na eboa pa edi yiwe ene enya ya 15 years ni yede a kyerɛkyerɛ enyuma a obi hia machines bia enyuma obi hia skakasie bia ansana wahyase a ayemfasode amani pepi wo man mu yesre ebia na otie me na sebe oyɛ housewife ene no oye adwuma etesen na onye bi kra make amfo network for societal transformation amount bi kra na otie mi awie na oye adwuma ope business bi aka de oye ho eboa pa ekoye one source of income ya na ede ho kyereba make amfo network for societal transformation amount enioma ya na kyerɛkyerɛ ne ye no sebe obi ni ma twere obi ni ma kenkan po a otimi eyebi e ma na yeye nyame ya doma yen programma etosumienu ewa afi mu no ye de esi ho ye 1 day business and empowerment workshop ye be no on the Saturday 11th March ye de sada na si ho a ye dakro enkyerɛkyerɛ ye kyerɛkyerɛ enyuma onipa bi abetimi ayebi aka adwuma oyɛ ho ebra o hie skakasie bia e baso on Saturday 11th March me kan ye pa Saturday a ebei ni 2 weeks Saturday a ebei ne na watwemienu anasa ni 2 weeks jumedi kasie yi ebekoso wa Accra he ya National Theatre e won kran he ya na jumedi kasie yi ebekoso ansana meka jumedi hu asem no yesre ebia no akọ pension program ifa ho hyemu bi ebeye mfaso de pa ebia na oyɛ housewife yesre fa ho hyemu bi ebia na oyɛ adwuma ope fofora ka de oyɛ ho ɛyɛ abra bi ebi nso ano apadwuma kyɛ bibi nti unya bi nyɛ ɛyɛ abra bi dwumedi ɛbɛkɔso Accra he ya National Theatre a ɛwɔn kran he ya ɛyɛ Saturday 11th March memenda ɛbɛyi ne na watwemienu ɛyɛ dwumedi ɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛ enyume yi a mede bɛto dwei ansa na mebɛka ho asɛm no mepaakyɛw fa yɛ number yi a mede to dwei kuransa bomɔden afa number mede to dwei ɛyɛ 0244 474093 0244 474093 0244 474093 yesre a network for societal transformation ye ho asem na wotie yi said medi kan on Saturday 11th March ɛna business and empowerment workshop yi baso ɛwɔ National Theatre. Yɛbɛ start program yi anopa 8 o'clock. Dwumedi a yɛbɛ kyerɛkyerɛ enyume yi a mede ɛbɛto dwe. Nneɛma simple. Njebre ehia machine bia. Ehia skakasie bia nso ansana obi ahyase. Edi kan yɛbɛ kyerɛ kwan yɛfa so prepare liquid soup. Adwuma pa. Efie bi ehia, abusua bi ehia, shampoo yɛbɛ kyerɛ ne yɛ, hair conditioner, shower gel, parazone, floor cleaner, after wash, bar soap edisi nneɛma yɛbɛ kyerɛ ne yɛ, washing powder yɛbɛ kyerɛ sɛdeɛ yɛyɛ no, Dettol anase antiseptic yɛbɛ kyerɛ kwan yɛfa so prepare no. Enyuma we nyina enjebre yɛbɛ kyerɛ ne yɛ on Saturday 11th March ɛwɔ National Theatre ɛwɔ Accra here. Hand sanitizer nso yɛbɛ kyerɛ ne yɛ, body lotion, hair cream, stain remover, ointment. Minim sɛ nneɛma a mebobɔ so yi biribi kɔ so wadwenem ubisa ho sɛ yɛbɛda ne esua we nyina da koro yɛsrɛ enjebre koraa. Liquid soap some few minutes no ayewie, shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, parazone, floor cleaner, after wash, bar soap, washing powder, Dettol, glass cleaner. Sa nneɛma nyina nneɛma simple a enjebre ɛno nti ɛna yɛ kyerɛkyerɛ ne yɛ on Saturday 11th March ɛwɔ National Theatre ɛwɔ Accra here. Yɛbɛsena kyerɛ kwan a yɛfa so prepare body lotion, hair cream, stain remover, ointment, bread ɛyɛ pan no a yɛdie yɛbɛkyerɛ ne yɛ, cupcakes, obi yɛ wedding, obi yɛ party, engagement. Wonim saa nneɛma yi a ɛbɛboa paa. Cupcake yɛbɛkyerɛ sɛdeɛ yɛyɛ no on Saturday 11th March our National Theatre. Shawarma yɛbɛkyerɛ ne yɛ, pizza, meat pie, yogurt, ginger drink. Afei agreka nimdifo bɛbɛ dwumedi ase abɛkyerɛkyerɛ kwan a yɛfa so yɛn pigs ɛyɛ impreco ɛyɛ adwuma paa. Pig farming ɔba bɛkyerɛ ne yɛ, catfish ɛne tilapia kwan yɛfa so ɛyɛn wɔn ɔba bɛkyerɛ, snail farming, crop farming kwan yɛfa so edua crops, lettuce, cabbage. Saa nneɛma ne nyina ɔba bɛkyerɛkyerɛ sɛdeɛ yɛyɛ no ɛbɛtumi ayɛ mfasodeɛ paa. Ɛne no yɛnyɛ adwuma baako deɛ woyɛ biara wonya different sources of income ɛde ka ho a ɛyɛ ana ɛboa paa. Deɛ twa toɔ koraa ɛyɛ biodigester. Enyume yi a mede ato dwa yi weinom ɛne ɛbɛkyerɛ ne yɛ on Saturday 11th March ɛwɔ National Theatre ɛwɔ Accra here. Mepakyɛ sign fa number ne bio 0244 474093 0244 474093 0244 474093. Minim sɛ bibi kɔ so wadwenem ubisa ho sɛ program yi ɛho hyehyɛ te sɛn, ɛho sikasɛm te sɛn, sɛdeɛ abribia yɛn program tien bibia nsesan. Registration for nneɛma yɛkyerɛ ne yɛ nyinaa no, registration ɛyɛ 250 Ghana cedis. First no a yɛbɛka sɛ 2.5 250 cedis. Bibia nka ho bio. Nemum yɛnyɛ mobile money so in advance. Twɛn program no ɛba so on Saturday 11th March. Saturday we ni 2 weeks ɛna dwumedi ɛba so ɛwɔ National Theatre. Yɛnyɛ mobile money. Hyɛaseɛ ne save. Nyame yadma on Saturday 11th March. Obe dwumedi no ase ɛwɔ National Theatre. Na odo sikaba waba be register ɛwɔ dwumedi no ase hɔ a. Yɛkyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma wie nsae. Sɛde abribia yɛn program etie no yɛhyɛda yɛ videos kama yɛhyɛda atwe ato pen drive so. Nneɛma yɛbɛkyerɛ ne yɛ ne nyinaa yɛayɛ ho videos. Ɛyɛ liquid soap, shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, parazone, floor cleaner, after wash, bar soap, washing powder, Dettol, glass cleaner, hand sanitizer, body lotion, hair cream, stain remover, ointment, bread, cupcakes, shawarma, pizza, meat pie, yogurt, ginger drink, pig farming, catfish ne tilapia, snail farming, general crop farming, biodigester. We mu nyinaa yɛayɛ ho videos a yɛde ato pen drive so a yɛbɛkyɛ ama obia. Yɛsrɛ pen drive no yɛntɔn daabi yɛntɔn ne nyinaa hyɛ 250 cedis a ɔbɛdwumedie no ase a wode bɛba abɛ register no ne nyinaa hyɛm. Time no ɛyɛ anopa 8 o'clock. Yɛnyɛ mobile money oba na wode sika ba. Ye a ya science why home certificates a ye becha ama obi a yesre certificate no so yenton ni nyina hye 250 cedis no emu any books na se handouts a ye dema ni nyina yenton e hye 250 cedis registration a oba wo de ebeba no emu ye kyerɛkyerɛ niema wie ensan ye be kyerɛ ba bi a woni a ebe dwumedi ase ebenya raw materials na chemicals ahodo ni nyina bi ato said the program ye chi no obi pese ode na dwuma wetimi akɔpɛ bi enkakra na ode ahye na dwuma se enyuma wei uhie skakase bia ansa na waye mu bia ubesuasua no amfa anya dwuma mpo a ubetimi aye ne fie anya biribia na sebe ehese atiska na yekoto na bonten bebia woni e ba benya gallons ahodo business advice kwan e fa so register dwuma aban mu ni nyina ebe kyerɛkyerɛ ni enim se ebe yemfa so de kese amenipa ede wo ho be hyemu nyina mepa kyɛw meje mama commander kai se jimedie no eba so on Saturday 11th March ewo National Theatre ewo Accra here time no eya nopa 8 o'clock registration eye 250 bibia nka ho bio yenye mobile money o ba na do sikaba abe register me patcho sign fa number no ebio bomodin fa number no eye 0244 47 40 93 0244 47 40 93 0244 47 40 93 Shasi na bobo ahodane druswa bra National Theatre na jumedie ebe yinshira kese amabusuan commander medase
yes medase ye network for societal transformation for NIT Wamukana live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show Monday afternoon yasaini mo hie bio baby a obia no ye juma embre and asem koma ye David Agbanyega we're joining on Facebook. Thank you so much. Erica V. I say Zakari Dembo. Nima phone na ya chechamo. And area. No bad kujo. Is here Gigs Air Coffee is here on our Facebook page. Then on YouTube we will join here. Someone here. Joe, good afternoon, bro. Thank you. Juma Mradru so ya baba ya Juma. Ghana Kasa Citizens Kasa on Tamale. Ubati enka on Dagban FM. On Dagban FM 102.5 right on Dagban FM ya da oma se pa so ena on tadi obati enka koduru baby ne she Ernest Taifa kontonchi desie onia ya ma mehu ma han menim se bibia ya boko enti aye takra de for ya da mo ase Benya FM ewo Cape Coast for so ya da mo ase and area on Benya FM and Central Region for Moti and Kawa Baby na ya mama salute. Mame emfana se Emma Fabia FM ewon Kranza and Kranza for ya damwase papa nyame enslamo se seme nananom munyina ya mamwa kwaba mame enko eye elembele na West End for menkase ya mamwa yiko Bobesenu Billy Pala, thank you so much. Billy Ebenezer joining here from South Korea, thank you. Then we have Jisa Emmanuel from Akache watching us live. Echo Bentum. So I join here. Kojofi Agba is here. Bismarck Aka from Italy, thank you so much. Bismarck. We have Ibrahim Sanekose from Spain, Bilbao. Ajabiok Musa Kamara from Japan, Madina Krachi. Omunyina ewa say yada masepa. Let's do this.
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti gara furuku be puntimpunasi sokode. No wakanchira katabin say you what you unkensen. Kwabena keja guma meni anko.
Wa mabe. Aborna wum lahabal nyaksem. Asibir dalet kurga yo point ne pregele. Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Muninya tingban yabga. Ka borna ay wum ya to nyasem ko twekane ban la akum nana Bobie Ansah ka bugum lahabal suma tingban yabga nana Bobie Ansah woni nya tingban yabga o twekane kan yarama o twene bjelba atia nyanwunya nyu twegba onyelo mabia nana Bobie Ansah tingban yabga nyu
inkuku ya kabang adibiara durefu ya wo fere na fu na nso ya asase durefu ya wo fere ne siw adenti efisa asase ne panyin opanyin ne hina opanyin ne Kwabena Bobie Ansah sasere kukuku da bi ochi mekwan no di nkampro obe bare bia na wabe bare daily graphic ne daily guide memunsem asai magana fu eje na kurum muntie eje nteterechi onam so wadoto nsura akorokraw gana fu se ubehia kwache wo kwanchen na obema achenchen ache wo kwanchen de ene yankako awrokwa chakra chenchen no ma ne yechen achenchen na se poto ni be poto kasa mafia na efi potofi nti gana fu ntie Bobie se obi abo ma wabo ni bi mu watu Bobie na obi so obesan abo obi a boni bi na dan obobia gana fu beti amanye sempa Bobie wona gana fu nanti ubiribiri wona won nanti umprempren mo nanti ubiribiri nanti umprempren
ebi didi ebi de komode wom enfoni Carlos ne Ansah ne Mustafa ne nkrofo masa da bia de achi ade sen so mudi cast ho atrantwie ki ye ka atrantwie a etse ayi kinagate fo a omuti si so a chese so okọ na wo ba chese cast ho de omude ho aye okusie a wayi chino no.
All right. Sai simisubio.
Ebi didi ebi de komode wom enfoni Carlos ne Ansah ne Mustafa ne nkrofo masa da bia de achi ade sen so mudi cast ho atrantwie ki ye ka atrantwie a etse ayi kinagate fo a omuti si so a chese so okọ na wo ba chese cast ho de omude ho aye okusie a wayi chino no.
Okay, all right. So, on behalf of Accra FM, number 1 FM, CTV, Class FM, and affiliate stations, Class Media, singing, Yama, Yenya, Bema, Wanyan Baby Crow, Achu, Christian Achu, Mayama, Ebusia, Yako, Niyamomo Kafra. Na young for meet anyway Emma Christian at you. It's a very sad situation, a very bad one, and you don't wish it for even your enemy, your worst enemy. So at the end of the day, you ask yourself, Onipaba Dianya, what are you fighting for? What are you struggling over? And then I will pray with the no. One day you will live it. At the crown when your brows will be cool, you will just leave it one day. You will just leave it. Fabi bianco. A lesson, a moral lessons. Eddie Mae. Take it easy.
Na unyami kuto una utumi mamiti na ojojo asante una meko makoda na madafreku madafreku asante una meko makoda na madafreku
se ewiase foforo bi wo ba bia e be hia bio.
I must again urge the United Nations to see to it that its own declaration on the liquidation of colonialism is given practical effect without further delay. So long as colonialism exists in Africa, Africans cannot help talking the way we do now. And mankind cannot escape the constant threat of war. Africa therefore appeals to the United Nations to live up to its reputation as the greatest bastion of world peace and demands that a meeting of this year's United Nations session should be devoted to the problem of colonialism in Africa. Furthermore, the United Nations should make a firm declaration calling upon the colonial powers to quit Africa by the 31st of December 1960. Freedom fighters also, assembled in this historic conference, must also call upon all the colonial powers to withdraw from Africa by the same date. It is in their interest and the interest of world peace that this should be so. It is folly. It is folly for the colonialists to think that they can hold back forever the progress of history. The process of change is inherent in the interplay of social, economic, and political forces. It is true that these can be hindered and impeded and even bent to different purposes, but not forever.
All right, so mamenya adewe a quick one. Last week, yeni penny the defunct UT Bank boss yeni penny Mwabeng. Well, your interview be GTV, and I think it's answer last week issues no. And ya kwai and deal with that issue. But we are baby will be ano mamimbusa still a year enyinam ahoden and can some to say because look every and I know Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I don't know who area said they will sit here. Meaning baby I want said they will sit here. But I mean airtime manya. Maybe I say we tie a year former UT boss Oramu abin we tie ni ye. Just listen to him.
Good morning. I actually enjoyed the conversation with Captain. If honesty was a human, there we had him. But will he still make that choice for the MPP next year?
You want me to answer that?
Yes.
The interesting thing is, my sister is the MPP parliamentary candidate. She's a parliamentary MP for our area.
Okay, from Kwabena area.
Kwabena area is Bokon North. And of course, I have to back my sister.
Of course.
But The interesting thing is that I have a lot of MPP friends, and then I told one of them, I said, listen, I'm NDC. He said, I said, go cry and tears here.
If you don't go, don't even understand.
So to answer, no, I won't vote MPP.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I said I won't vote MPP, and I'll vote NDC.
Okay. Why?
We need a change. I mean, and the only viable option is NDC.
Saying good morning. I actually enjoyed the conversation with Captain. If honesty was a human, there we had him. But will he still make that choice for the MPP next year?
My memory back. Ora I'm being UT friends bank boss any on GTV and my am for credit in my GTV. Honor or interview no. So yeah peke Sideway from GTV. Now, this is Ora Amwabe, the UT bank boss. Or on a man, I can offer 5 million. I could find say 5 million Ghana cedis, right? 5 million Ghana cedis to run their campaign in 2016. In fact, I quite remember. I don't know whether me offer Amwabe dia. I can remember Nama was FM. Then the marketing people at multimedia came back to the office, the catcher office for say, oh, they went to a UT bank. Echo pay a friend is a advert na almost say oh Bobie against Akufo-Addo. So they can't give advert to my show. But today we are here. Okay, so Nanaka say Awudomi estate in Kania. I don't know for how long. Then Benjamin Tete I was a nyanso Omadum Kania. I am for a year time duration and count because very important. I didn't question so a year load a schedule so omonya. Yeah, we say be almost said load say oh I say I for mubenya from a beer a friend of past 6 number 6. They should do it and stop this. I mean nyama tan na poti warrior no. I mean that time or said to say because of this lighting issues in inspectors I have to go and sleep with a friend at Ashaiman Newland. Can you imagine? And I think we should start talking about this. Say somebody load shedding no omonye no my schedules no and nipa no opia frifia on him said this time to this time you do kania this time to this time or kania omon beto o matare no mato Benjamin Tete says since morning I was here since morning last week me body we so obi amfi me last week I mentioned this thing obi amfi me I mean, someone for being the day sorry to obey Kroma, and I think it's high time. Yeah. Say no, Obian social pressure groups say arise Ghana, and your friends have fixed the country. Ghana first should take, I mean, their own initiatives. They should demonstrate to the government. Why? What to do light bill? This say any even 1 month. So you increase a light bill, a man for your light, nyansa beni wom. You increase water bill, a man for nyansu, nyansa beni wom. So I don't think woman me etia more. Ewo bibi a mint me access on why the expenses ono yenka esuo wasam yenka Ken Farouk se ka so fanko preso yeah say enra expenses wo baby 18 enko mo transform e bia blow gra sa Muhammad Ahmed say Asaraja about 2 p.m. ya na omudum no ewiem so ayese obi ahomete asam no asam no Jisa Emmanuel was say owo akache from yesterday bepem say otiemi no light ewa akache. Now, Jonathan Sibobi, for the past 2 weeks, we don't have light at our area. East Trasaco. And also so. East Trasaco and also so. Gordon Mensah is asking me whether I will come out and do the demonstration and leave the microphone. Gordon Mensah, demonstrations in the and yana me be kobi. Demonstration be anwa etia government we ya me kobi. Da ebi si da. Demonstration be anwa etia Kufuor me kobi da. Ebi si da. Demonstration be ya jejento boa kra metua bi. Masade obia oya demonstration etia Kufuor bia ojeje ntoboa kura matua bi yase me nsuo man krofo no no am nante montre so ma de nchikra I'll do it nungwa Jerry Johnson nungwa enra 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Almost saw ya no. Na wom. No ababak. Wom. Na ababak. Wom. Na ababak. And that is what is happening. Kaswa, Obia sent me a private message. Was it Kaswa? There is no light. Akwete man. Akwete man. Almost see omudum kania nra. Almost sono ene. You see, sir, abai we bedi no kre. Na se omo behwe na omo ma eye time omo di bedum no a me na beboa. This kind of Napo we ankasa no ani hunim guy. Very useless boy. And I'm the kwatra now. Napo we dey not all because with me serve Kufuor interest. So no mama ya chimni. Do you want serve for interest? And I'm the kwatra now. We destroy your school education system na wie. One your friend say ampratum. One ampratum na yes ade no. And no adwane akwatra energy. And energy one so asase. And this is the situation. This is the situation. I want to see one more. I see what we are munua. Says a man for your light, cry and find your bibiano. What do you want to say? Now let me come back. Let me come back to Amwabe. Oh, sir. Last week, me catch them. Sir, media menya politics. Media menka politics. On said Drew the other day, me am off Amwabe. Also about DC. You see. Ne honesty. One will nipa what we are here. Be honest with yourself. Obianka say so you support NDC, meaning say won't be criticized or why? Yeah, mame, your friend say yeah, mame, anti Sophia. So I can say or the MPP card membership echo and I say what the card I got to also on MPP ni bio. Adia be cause that is the only issue. Adia be cause and also on Wabakabi. It doesn't mean say we're giant MPP or your MPP ni. So look, so far as I mean, you work two political parties. That is how the situation will be. So the situation there. And to the tranchine, na catch them say, sir, I'm dirty politics. No, maybe I don't do politics. These days, the decision. Oh, well, if you don't take care, and that's in Yame and Fefi, now could have a reckless leader like a Kufuado, very clueless person like Baumia. Yeah, and one ya bonnet beye abro. I saw Abotan since from 3 days now, no light. Okay, a man from Abotan, almost 3 days ni, and Kanya Emma and Patem water. 3 days now. 3 days now. And Obia nye de Obia and can wasem. Yana make a no. Men tranche. And today, yeah, papa Moabe, Ekatre say, look, we need a change. And the change that we need, Obia and me support Obia so onyeku. I don't have that time. Baby, I have built a democracy na bedruno. We can't allow anybody. So I'm not disturb the process. No. Then I will say again, we can keep on talking. We can keep on, criticizing. But as much as we are criticizing, let us also get it say change, baba. Change the baby so. Now change it so. Because as we speak, it's clear that Jomama who want fast watching a Kufuado ne Baumia 150 times. 150 times. Take the end the work he did. Ajuma Jomama yeah is there. Obianim. So at the end of the day, won't be in country me say wouldn't be what they better to home. Go out there. Kwasante region, Kwasha satellite markets are apart from a Yeketia market now, Jomama CC one. Kwasha other projects. Yesika sem nejna say, or mine photo nejna say. Funds kakra, public funds are on my way, and that's what Kufuado did na beje Bosia and the Sia were discanning na they have stolen the money. And Kufuado Nikeno for Riata, they are criminals, they are thieves. They have stolen the monies. And as we speak, on my way, January, no more Befie 10th February, almost Baba be 3 months, and sign a new entrance for Nako. The point is, Sikani horse, he cannot say they don't have money. There is no money in the system. They have stolen the money. They are thieves. They are criminals. They have stolen the monies. The COVID money, loans, and almost we are seeking the court. Kufuado ba winner ayi ensuase namo ensuase ensuase bom pro ofa aye cantonment police station ya ofa cantonment police station ya ewa next street no ayi police headquarters street no free fire service for no na oba street ya sensu ya kohwe akola we nya adwuma da wo wiase kohwe restaurant was yeti wo akola we wanya adwuma da onya adwuma da onya hwe da wo so kwadu wo so nkate wo ton eye emo awie see a dime by force 5 and the OSP air investigating. No, you can't investigate Akufado's daughter. Sam kola mo bon se ya omo mo bra bia o omo mo obra bia wo wiase san kola we omo mo bra bia wo wiase omo nya adwuma da omo bin point say ya adwuma wo ha sei Joma Messi eye T3 ewie ye o se wie ya na kinken ana fra na ku oba ya na oje ho e na ode man ma duty free so simple straight. Don't sit back. Men try to encourage them say we are neutral. And that is why I keep on talking about multimedia practitioners be and a media me neutral. What is the meaning of me neutral? You are a thief. Every media practitioner better say okay say we are neutral biano or you crown for. You are a thief. You are a criminal. So at the end of the day, you jump from. What is the meaning of me neutral? Say what to a maimu, adiana nya unim se enye. Wabadam. Are you mad? Adiana nya unim se enye. You don't have your own mind. You don't have your own mind. Your friend say, Daregu, any boku, she confusing. It doesn't make sense. She confusing across war. It doesn't make sense. Utie a year boku, mamprusi kuchasin sen because I mean you have a very reckless man leading the country as the president. Now, omomdina chinisu you won't I want to ask here. At this time, head in Ghana. You're nothing part of Ghana and your problems with at this time. Why? And then yes, soldier for I mean, can't we find a nice way of dealing with this issue? Na enya boko. Say. So what in China can say me say umfa a day will come obefa hon. A day will come over when we started saying this thing from 2007, 2008, Bobienyo, Nandisi for Manisika. You see, today, and Ubet, Nakacham say onya politics. Tranchain, Nakacham say media, Omonia man media men kabi. Really? A day will come over kabi. A day will come over kabi. A day will come. Messi ube biye wan wakabi. Eti kabina. And can't tell me say when your politics, politics. Don't tell me that. Because any decision. Yeah. Say sabe tafrache. O man biara to abama kwasia. Kwasia no be ene kwasia fo be hye mrama mo. So mine any country eye obeto ababa kwasia no ne kwasia fo be hye eye emra e de amamo. And you are winning Ansah no, get yourself involved. Have a say, have your opinion. Say one TNC man can be a watching bi. One kaye nsua obekai asre. And that is the reason why you must step in. That is the reason why you must step in. And do they try to catch them so what they are all your politics into one found are they be able to be an unfound. A day is coming, you will talk. Ken Farouk say NDC government with Mahama as president gave Ghana better governance than this corrupt, scandalous, and thievery governance that we are experiencing today. MPP after 2024, never again. You can never compare NDC to MPP. At least you can see development and peace with the NDC, but not the same with the MPP. And we have Eric Amozu here, Alexander Kwesi, and so Hase. But back to the same issue. What they trying to catch them say? One home. And I'm running beso. Semrano soa obati ase. Now another issue, and I think sir, my member your friend say ifo abaso NDC leadership with parliament. Me kra there na me see so omo convert omo bi, right? They are there. I wish and comments wakra. I wish and can you quite say NDC MPs ni siwo. I want him for so besi wo okwa kwa ere. Ede be na akwa kwa yo. Mama hose omo abehwe no omotua omo abetua ne filing fee e di amano omo abetua ne filing fee e di amano and mame moshi na menko na menko check back again enka NDC MPs ni ens wo kra nkoya hwe mo nkoya hwe enfa so bia ni so because ade no say si enipa no enkrofo a wasesa wo mo no edoso Tio, what's in Crawford Massasano a Dawson? That's also your appointment. You don't need to even go there. That is my point. You don't need to even go there. A Kamiyaman Cavette no Crobiamba. Because the point is say me was out there. Katiamo when Yansabene win trim. Katiamo when Yansab, this foolish boy, a foolish man, this idiot. Obedi do obia temu kroma obedi keti am obedi do obia temu kroma. Why should you waste your time on this foolish man? Omo you am no hwan ni papa be ne wo mu a say wo omo approve a you don't sit there. There is no need. Don't me. You see, I keep on telling people Adia mempeno menko no, I don't do that. Enti say we nipa na se mempewa asema baby a wono memma ho I won't come there memma ho me hwe. And I'll make sure say baby a me wono you don't come there. When you see me around somebody because hypocrisy. Say mo approve a menko ho ensi ho okọ ye den. Wokọ ho ekoye den. Okay. There is no need. Ma men ko Hajia been to an amene nkoya juma. Hello.
Hello, Baba.
Yeah, Hajia, o ayin fade na akoso.
His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama office.
Okay.
Why would you the moment now? We start me for yeah. Now, yes, the area and a poor bay at night. Yeah, when you know what kind of house, maybe I would get a good one on the farm and I what way to Kaka, on sand drivers, new drivers, and say, I was so kind of past no. Also, on one board, I was say, or what by the study I would strap any of the yeah, they are going to get the more noir, will be anything Canada noir. Woman will say, Uncle, and a very platform, it's the extra radio. And what's your name? I got a point in anyone, someone, say, I can't remember not any Yamayo Bono, maybe a part or say, oh, I said, I'm on your phone and him now, keep back out of Mamma, you feel one. And one, I hope it's got a power car, yeah, or time I didn't say, yeah. And on a cell phone, I said, woman passing a book on fire. If I said, I need to obey me, I can't tell you why everything. Yeah, woman is saying, it's excellent, John Dramani Mahama. Well, no, and a prayer, I say, some more kind of body kind of seven. Now, woman who's how you could be any and when I'm on the group of me. Ghana,
Before all of the last I forgot that
now, what kind of boys is here over the bar, you know? What much I say? Woman, you have to be a near woman cried, woman can't have be a bit baby about. Woman can open in one thing will be our natural so when you have to check a crown of and be a any brain and up. And then if I would go a war and a year, his excellency John Dramani Mahama, yeah, woman trying to see when you want to put it for Cham with them and woman. And into a woman and more at the Campano, you're right, Deborah, and a chief of staff. And you're a Calipos Mahama, Penny, I also want to try how to near man. I say, Madame Maria, yeah, can now, yeah, deputy women organizer, and my one and my temple. And in the back, I can't come home and what you say. Over the Catan or Peso, as I said, you didn't want to keep what and into almost soccer anymore. Now, and some more my Kenyan, what I open in the back. Now, what can I take a trade? And it's just who you are, and if I be also almost yet. The treats are brave for your irregular direction. Obey a punch. That would be P and go boys and more my changes. I said, we are done at unity. I have to explain your thing. We didn't need to be judging Mamma and you get here at John Dramani Mahama. And into some woman, we want to talk about the amount of doing the same way we are higher Minya yet. The Nipa treat I get another. I will see with you and you have to try.
Now, because JM Nomu anyhow, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so original Debra and Callistus, Numnejan and Nemo AJ. What do I need bubu a year Okada for a taxi for no? What do I say?
Okada for me, one more carbon in idea, one more for the Kwabena. Yeah, say, Moto need to receive a half a hey, you Christ and they did that, and of course, I do not see more. Over here, in the park and magic. Yeah, no more.
Okay, all right, been to Yadase, Yamin Sabebre, Messi about back view. All right, okay, so now you can show videos from their course, or John Mahama office. Before all of the last I forgot that another. Before all of the last I forgot that another.
Union associations are, by this petition, endlessly requesting your excellency to consider the various points raised in this petition and do the needful by heading to the heartfelt glorious of call of all Ghanaians who seek the peace and prosperity of our dear nation, Ghana, whose citizens are
Can I say, Fawoji Adienumu, Fawojim Nakabi. We need a change. We need a change. And that change, I mean, Evan Ebefa. Minya Maria Adam Ebeka Simbi about a year MPs, you know. That is my opinion. So me na wuja me say me take a decision. And from ma a year NDC. That is my opinion. And ka omo nkokra me mo nsi wokra. Munsi wo nkonko ye hwe. Munsi wo nkonko ye hwe. Mo amobeya mo vetting na mo approve mo ade na mo de mbese mo ye bia na mo aye. Catholic Bishop Conference for ka titinkro titi wa appointees no edoso your friend say your friend almost say Christian Council ka Peace Council Pentecostal ka obia ka say enkrofo a wa power mo no doso o se menti ase cut down your expenditure o se menti ase men say o man ni wie ya men koye me say o man no ansa na makọ we nyina ase ne say we nyina ka say so I mean isa yanhwe bibi ya asameba erem say omo ko no omo ya de na omo ye no say at least omo tua orajo mama ne filing fee e di amano sebe ya obi abehu say they are involved, and I think so wutie Oramu Abin spot on that we need a change. Where is the change coming from? I am no me anu ne see tu na bibia nya botesem say ye be ka che say bawumia e ba be sie kufu adu anan damfo mpo anya hwe na ko damfo po wanya hwe na ko akufo do no was na ni ate no kura wanya hwe na mia me candidate Baumia all dey fine e dey be na Baumia nti asem from be pa na Baumia be ka say akufo simple. It's so simple. Sir, what trench and also one for one. And we no be Obia send message be say even the fetish priest and our ancestors are all saying another should reduce the size of his government to save our economy. On tiasie abosom fo kan nsaman fo kan on tiasie that. Also, let your technical team put the virtual DJ player sample of push sound is me social media handler do crowd was here for GTV. Onim baby adene ne nambia. Hey asemu. Anyway, so sanket me ewie your friend say Orajo Mama office was no. Then and this I saw there and my main your man for opinion, then we can cut it short and move on. Live on Accra 100.5. Medical culture say Adiano for Shembi. One for one Shembia or Chinabi. You will come back complaining. You will come back complaining. And yeah, Kusibodo, what's that? Mensumesa. Omo try and check catch say omo nye eye politics no. Today, no Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. No, we hope you make say and unti no manya award wa. Eye world best. Obian trase Emma Dompemi ya de ka say anase mo boya de enkan to dem bio. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Asa nya want to say me kuro edu no. Me enkan e wana nu. Oba na be mo pa wo. Ene enyar wan kaye. Na nse ma me ka say ene spinal cord ho e kan ye no. Greenfield ada romenti ene wasa so de gene na so epiem. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our ultra modern laboratory and a diagnostic machine sir.
aduane mu ankasa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Ewa Nungwa Dogon, Estate Junction, last stop. Frewa 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 898.
Greenfield.
God is our healer.
Greenfield.
Your last stop.
I believe you.
Asempe biaba. On a card, so 1 year Juma afi we mu de kodia na one upeo excuse BRN for quick credit. It was 0302 200 390 and na 0596 920 833. So say quick credit and malone our internet so. Inti shena obiara ndada.
Esisien ho kotechima ene na asempa ene diabo enunti ana make am for tabia herbal capsules e diamount say yesisi yade pa ana age oni padwana boso dia bomodia ne num tabia herbal capsules na aboyi di usisi mama mai na wonya sisie etimi abo adwuma pa say ya ayemtim ana age yefunu ya boso ama wuntimi nya wo hohia bomodia ne num tabia herbal capsules na etimi yi ne befi afini padwanim ama Oyefun Adaho Tabia Herbal capsules, a busso, our pharmacy shops, any herb. Battles, I will be a safanina, and after our mature for you 0243. 686861. I said. Who ma akran for? Who you paying for? And now won't the if you do what here, Tabia Herbal Capsules.
3 capsules. A memory. My mum be a benemu. Can me tutu and me kuma bo asese. Betu esa kum me nia G. Give us 3 capsules. Give it to me, baby. Give us 4 capsules so e. E mane meme nyina akoko yade. Sisi yade amama nya yam timotete wo mo no. Yedro no no. Manum bi amama de me ho. Give us 4 capsules. Mrs. Moye thing. Give us 4 capsules. I give it to you, baby. You give it to me. Yeah. Hey. Give us no. Amani jia bebusuamu papa. Na bema ka give us P capsules. And give us 4 capsules bomunom dia na enije ni ahoden no wa bruro fie dumie no nka ho e wo drugstore bia motofonko give us herbal center teshi mobile and teshi aduame phone numbers 0543 222 470 and 050 68
FD ahwehwe sa ejedi nkrato yi mu age atomu se eye
Mira, na de na ofrejuma ba ya se waye bosanse. E di benya bi.
NS3 Eclipse Collateral Management for Abamaye. Waye prime brokerage service. Na no se de tienie. So we japade na wo ho nkrata. Wutumi de nkrata ne becha Eclipse Collateral Management. Na so bi so we japade ebia na ne nkrata no animu anom. Na ope bosia. Ye de wo nkrata ne yensi achi ba Denta Pantai Junction. At Denta new site hwa 0543 832466. And decent income.
While the business of the nation awaits the attention of government, all that we hear are excuses upon excuses. The most common of them being that the problems of the nation are all the fault of the MPP. Fellow Ghanaians, excuses almost on a daily basis that this or that problem was left by the MPP administration. say to President Mills today? If you say that the system is broke, fix it.
Apeke womo na Abubakar Raji join here. Thank you so much. Miranda Adams is here. Says I'm watching you live from Kumasi. God bless you for the good work. Thank you. Would do a G or these guys have been tampering with your program since okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. Michael Epson says Keda though in favor of a change. Not long ago told me that can win 2024. His reason being that so far as John Mahama continued to be preferred candidate for NDC, the governing party still have chance to break the 8. Okay. Ono na dwenchira wode e bai no. And me say among for mano various response. So let's see if you bet me up pick omo echo John Mahama office one quickly. Let's see if we can pick them and know exactly at the cry a pussy woman omoko ekoye ye betimi abusa wo ma be fine but mamenka Deb's Maison de Beauty. Is it French word or what? Anyway, a spa
ubangu imune mijinai
pacha yanko
yo mamencha mamelo kuru apugo do mi Obani me kasafa no if I told her allow me I know call different topic opening kakra bese me kan say uraketi amount what we for Ghana for akuma emia group ana trade ministry wono so me pacho wa enya concept ne yeyi wo ho another magic isa no mo bre no so no enye ni bia o eni ye jodna egu no ye hia wo bia o ye competent na wo betimi amaye mbusa no a wo de wada no enye ne ye hwehwe na mi enye ono no aye oma pani na di hamo onipa we ni bi akoto ye bishop wetimi afanfa so die bia me sika fi mu ba ye hunu ba bia fa okobo so na ne ma na isu san wo katen na di pa we ni edi ko to 10 minutes oma pani we di hamo na wa say o ma no Ghana for mo sorry o say ye nuanu ya koye e wo the excellency gentleman to aso.
Okay, my main cover another caller on the line. Hello.
Can't for food and jobs, maybe the one one. And then you're supposed to call the police member on them. And they take it video. And they be a master mechanic there. Okay, I'm paying for another psychologically. Yes, your mom, Jim say, said so you're normal. And that's someone you're normal because na mo ye na go nimpa dwene ntia kɛ so ai sɛ de mo ye jimi for me kura no mo li your mind no manu ato bi nto aso.
Hello. Okay, Maluzuno. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Paja.
Papa, na me ma unkwa wate.
Ami.
Na me sira pa. Kache CTV. Jomo ye no jomo am office no me ye hwe no TV so why.
Mate.
Me da bebre.
Nesu me da say. Okay, I'm going to find another caller on the line. Hello.
Bobie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Eben Kwabena.
Eben Pacha.
Me da say. Bobie, into me be papa papa we o ti no ka chere se me we enti se Kwabena ya ya bochire nkuwa. Into no beti ha ya ni. Sebi MPP do ye nkwasefo pa o Bobie. Na nado ka chere yen na we have the capable men. Na me be say challenge man to make us say on the toilet version of Ghana's flooding. On the track 6 years when Tinya 2 years na KTM Pablo Fraud. What about radio to me? Yeah, did you remember them? No, let's know to Papa. Hey, MPP here, wait. No one that's almost feeling. Every sector can be almost feeling. Oh. When we do much, you say yes, support them. Just some of my gun. Now, dear, the next entity, I remember where woman, come with you now. You're better to myself. I'm more funny, I'm more fun, more kind. What do you think I'm here?
Meda say, my main confirm another caller on the line. Hello.
Amanda, I'm here singing.
And council soon, Pacha first of refrain. Okay, young cock Bojo for.
Commander, and your papa will not dish if I have a summer also. Now, I spent the part. Commander, you can follow your move to Casa. Nana would be there, but I want. Traffic light, I say, a couple of months. Minister, road minister, the account for Papa can see every brain. Your castle coin, I want. Internal, young bomb, I say, for years. Why, Commander?
Mate. Miss Meda say, my main confirm another caller, quick one. Hello.
See that?
Yes, Hajia.
Yes, yes.
Pacha Yanko. Yeah.
We are tough. Why? With your program, you are and you pray. A chill, I am dear. Minya, sometimes me to know upon, I can say, and in the MPP supporters one. I didn't show me one of the Omotiana. I'm more high dine. I'm more just mommy for Anna. Because, and Megan, baby, I could follow about the first cement. Boy, any baby or the cocoa to 2016, 100 cities. And then you rented timber house for 10 hour Madina and put him 800, 900,000. So, mommy, Muna Otia. Oh, but and their argument about saying that your mama pepper pium, Nagana, your makeke. Ye lieutenant and a make a chill with ma. We do our shit. And then 3 days, that and come medium see. Meaning, I'm a semi yard, so Miss Sorry because a buyer no a deep power can see the back like Mr. Plaza, send a soldier, men wound them so lucky. And I'm a teacher, baby bon. As I say, Jaujafu, or if I service near, what time is a TB center, men checking on, me check here, no stabilizer, so a dereba, Namenqua, and a midi fire extinguisher, Eddie New Year, and come meet them moshi. And she likes Lydia, and Yakra, Nana, yes, only I confirm one of the people who saw the Katiamaba, or one of them, and or your mother. And to me, MPs no make us over. Oh, Paso Bia.
Yeah,
number to papa so sa bibi anko yi. Nkokro government. Na me bi sa o sa school placement no. System no me gidi say nye fair. Because obi ti nya 18 na onye school the system no enye fair. Nti omo bra na omo kire mu ni enti a nipa nya 18, ebi mu nya 35, 34, 49 na anya si. Nti omo bra na omo kire. Na mpa cho me bi sa some men so omo Madina no. Omo nya hwe. Gota mo aye fi. Madina my hot kwan so market got it IFC at choky. First na communal labor ho but see ano me hu adwuma kora assemblyman so mo ye. Because you say got a do ye nim ho o my ya 2017 Boniface time no. Ono mo be ye. You see president initiative. Got ano enko e stam na hejina fa ko. Ya complain ya tra council engineers and plan engineer then ya ko on council o mo nya hu shi but nipa no ye got ano ono na o si Legon Sports Stadium no.
I see.
And the Juma no be here ha no mas 5 by 5 on the contract for a man.
Okay. I try so be my videos from baby one then we can use it for
Nana Bobie Ansah ma send mu videos
so
ma send it na do program o ye ma send sa me nya reply bia.
I see. Okay. All right. Yebeka sawachi offer na ye hu ade kro. Why? Okay. Yeah, go find another caller on the line. Quick one. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bobie.
Yes, I'm Pacha from Sofrefree.
The Kofi Tasuraba. Don't have friends to DSP.
Okay, Kofi DSP. Mko.
Bobie, me don't count many aje. The status that me follow no, and you know, a clear from there, Miami Station. No more about my power here. And I'm on you can see Moon and Baby, and I'm wine. But to be a kind of previous, I mean, then if you charge no dinner, I remember you. Like a crime, I can say, the man be near to pass. Save you, or you remind of Oluma for appointment and after that.
Nasa sticker or sticker near Oluman, Anna.
But I said, oh, shut not very much. Almost 80 to 85%. I am going to go on. I go no, they are going to show. Trade minister, every this 6 years, when we are yashi, and that's a 14 cents, travel so comfort the ombre, she commands my deputy drummer. No, not that, another deputy. Into a dream, she be via and sim. She question answer. Any of Grubia would, it may be so. Or what not time minister, not a joke, or they are quite now for 2 years na canana. Maximum Mivitano.
Okay. Meda say how near my opinion on man for no a basic quick one. My men's I'm not studio. I'm not my juma na yene yenu Maxwado and Evans Wedger. Omna call Raj John Mahama office ye donation. Say onye na ono so NDC time no drew say omo pick forms for a flag bearer race no on also what me apeke forms or one idea command. Okay, so Evans
Papa.
Okay and Maswado yo Max but in the one you Okada driver and one taxi driver because I like say you Okada and taxi drivers na ko
yeah taxi drivers no kwan so a mobile but akoye say ye kura moto a ya yes abwa no manti no ye ti aban ne pip see ye dikan
do momo ye fast
yeah fast
momo ye fast okay
yeah fast
okay anyway so Evans mami Musa o come to hefa na o come
akra ha ya matwi moto wankran krom more than mfie bebre ni
oh I see
my station ankasa ye tudu.
Oh, okay.
Tudu na mejina.
Okay. Nje na mko ye dey wo Rajo Mama office.
Bobie ma minchia na minchia Ghana fo nyina na minchia me papa ba ko a okura me mu wankran krom ha sei David Nati. Asema edi ekopie Excellency John Dramani Mama office ni say ya tenase ya die sorry ya dwen ya te even Dr. Mamadou Bawumia akura say wono nso pa akonya bedi ya tenase adwen hu say ukọ baba na wankasa otiri hu a opeteke ejo pa na watwa usakula enti ese etu ya no mutiu ya nantiga na fo so ya yankofo na ya fa wo mo ya business partners na omo ba ya nchen ya ni omo na am no fo bi o tumi bi say enti o kada fo de na mo ya abo amahama enti de mama be kan fa mo adwuma enti mo ni so ena ye ni enua na mo true drivers ena concerned drivers ya be man kronfo ena aboso kan spare dealers ye ko tena ase na ye di nkomo nkomo di ni mu ano usun so kwa free car passa obekọ na nipa na hoton car pass no kra no di container for ne ka usun se bia wo moto ase wo for trotro kwa to moto pass free baby aba obekọ na trotro driver no asho to diesel si kwan ho a opesika akoto diesel dia na ma san dia ma wanyina e baaye menya politician menim calculation menim senior yebu oman nanso so metimi ho ase e wo me widie mu se emra na mahama eti akonya so no na niema mu odin dia nanso so enti se ne because tama na mahama ti akonya so mahama ye vice president ebe ye president nyina no na mene maxwado de ye wo kadam that time na ye nim sky ye di tomoto ene ye hwed ne sky ye di tomoto ye nim moto
ene moto no say
mpacho na me ne onya sa calculation we simple
okay
2015 2016 mo bi ntina be bi nkase ye politics na kure na me kan kiro na ye ton royal 125 because ye customers no omo feel say the cost bia we ye ni omo ntem no ye kwa bontan ye kan kire Ghana fo na royal 125 eh 1400 1005 2015 2016 how do motorbike na ye 3200
okay
maxwell opemoto kese pa na ni moto no na boy dey 4000
pepe
for exactly 4000
na be ya
Sonic Django
Sonic Django 200 capacitor
okay
enti ya calculating prices no ana Dr. Mamadou Baumia ne ninu apeni Akufo-Addo ebe ka kire say mama ba ya ebe ka kire so se nyame ya na adom na obedi Ghana so 2020 a se ne adwuma nhede ni oman ni mu amabunu ekoye galamsey no obegu obesiesie ho na yeso ye de na yeso ye no waba ba ji adwuma na tum na emra boy adwuma no ho ban ana kasapo le nyansabo akwa entro hene Dr. Mamadou Baumia
wana avren kasapole
na do ninu akuma Baumia makunta ana Dr. Mamadou Baumia ba no beka over frame no ka che me say ma menji Dr. Excellency John Dramani Mahama bo hye ne ntumu na mom oba semi ye na akunta ye de oba san ye free okada ama ye cars
okaso ye akunta asia ne say
me worry ne sister direct sister nti me fisa na me friend enti no okasa no mejitu mu aja menya ka me de be fa me yire ne me ma enti na mani aso ye kwagina wo mochi no
you go join ne Samia Okunum campaign
yes because na ye peka and na say we make I say we bokusi eja eno na aka me ya kwa kwatna wonu mu aye dede we nyina di mu abapa wa wi a
so 2020 vote to Akufo-Addo
oh because of us so be ma me ka eno de o kana cry and they 18,500 moto na eto no 1,004 no and they 9,500 moto na eto no 3,200 no and they 15,200 registration ka ho
within your first 6 years
6 years along this 6 years oh ya throw petition na dia kwa koma mo papa enye say na o share ye bo na san we na o ka kire ye what's in a campaign? Not just yes.
Tobo. I'm gonna catch him say a campaign.
Yeah, the petition called Dr. Mamadou Baumia office. Nipa na or receive petition no. E catch say enya bibia ye kan work campaign time and e so. Yes, in special leaders and why minim.
Your friend say.
Minim ni the Muslim guy be.
But so be a model dia command dey enke so huni din because e be about say we twan tro na to almost.
Me twan tro to almost so me dey giden. Me twan tro dey agiden.
But the point is obi are dia command na unim ni din there. Anyway.
Me ebi adam I go born in dinner with tonight. Say,
that's how we say, small can I no credit and dinner there and we here. When the passman near the man say, say no kind.
Your friend Nuru Dima Bass.
So they way the more chrono.
All right. Okay, just say, your campaign message via na yajina sudi. Yeah, dear. Na moto for cry, you do say, or can say, talk us. Maya ehim fa na edi be ye adwuma ene ga se na woni mu wei ene obeda ga na fo no o ka che se ono de enkomodie na ono ye di na emu wantimi yentimi ngina so mfa nyede Enfan Kasantia vice president. Da na obema ye ni vice president ahia. Me nua bema Bobie. Enfie mienu ni. Ya twa ho kwan atwa. Ye nsan kan de ye kuma pe. Ye nada ne ntro. E na omo dada ye. Ya satena se omi ansa. De na obeye. Ama wo man Ghana. Ye mfa no nsi ho no mo. Ya twa obi ayi ni ti, obi abo ni din we se me ba be prayer assembly man, we se me pe unity committee, we se me pe se me nye presenter we se me pese me di police ye papa John Dramani Mahama ye din hey papa enkola mo we ye funu mu no eda sorry o mo tie se obeka bibi 2022 atwem ya antehwe January 2023 ya rem ye de tun tutu fam obeka bibi
okay
wan ka hwe ya twen ade no wan ka se oti hu aye yiwa yibone enti ye de na ya keka ya Ansah ase ye ne concerned drivers ne true drivers na aboso kan paper dealers ena ma bia ye ne omo ye business boom ena ya keka ya Ansah ase na ye say
na Emmanuel business Emmanuel
say ye kura motorbike nti no omo we kira omo beba
okay
ena ye keka ya Ansah ase na ye nya bibi kakra ena ye de kwaja no office so lucky ye koy no oni wo nka ye koy na ko ho nka se se ne ya na ko yi asem na no mai be ye koy no na na musifo ne so watu kwan enti ye ne former chief of staff Julius Zebra na ko hia ena ye de ya mane eto nanim enti se wo hu ye wo studio ha no mo na ye Okada riders there ya declare support ne ochina chi saa kwesi 2024
but say ombesi aba frame bi akwatra circle
e ho no mo beti o mo samia ye me ye sa ne ma ne bi mu ye ma obi meka ade a woni twa sa ade we ye kokopa no bi abeka che wo say me wo aduro bi wadam a so o ma me position we ya me de aduro no be petu mi na sa akwaje o ma me o mu dadae ina o mu de etu o mu dadae na de ma me ko sesa to me
anyway Maxwell if na wo so wo
me what to do me na me Greater Accra Regional Chairman
Okada
riders no
really
yeah
enti money
ye ne no ko yo campaign omu be ma me letter say omu hia ye motor riders no that time no na hear me say President John Mama okasa say obe legalize motor no nti omu nya ti ye no na omu so ye say ni omu be frefre motor fo no ama omu abetie omu anu asem nti hear me say ye ko ye na omu country ye say omu be talk as amaye na enye motor because motor no nye legal nti eye illegal nti omu beto cars amaye but ya to abana wie ya hu se sisi a moto e cars na omu se omu beto no omu anya nto car no
in cars no way
cars no kra ya nya
so omu di big buy omu
masa omu buy intro because emeka na 2000 kufuo so ye na me driver that time kufuo time dey say man kanu credit me to abama kufuo ma gallon so wo in that far park no so say ye bet to me ato petrol and petrol is 6400 and 64 pesos that time na 64 na me driver me ma yiri me hu pa ma yiri me hu ono shakot black oni ni ba mi mu ebe dran inda fa yebe tumi ato anaye ntumi nto yebe tumi ato anaye ntumi nto ena ye to abama kufuo betra super osi petrol ye 10500 okoto asubiom 20000 enti ma hu se omusuban we nu musu so omu beto ka no ya to abana wiesisi aye hu ka no mi de man fameni anhu ka bia ba mi mo se mi kan se 2020 no mi to abama MPP na mebua because eyade ni ye say ye kwakotie omu anuma asem di omu kan because omu be ma ye letter say ye de embra na embeti na masemba ko ade bia mi kan say ade bia eye illegal ye wo legal one e wo ho enti so omu si moto na ye tena no eye illegal eni omu nchire ye legal one no na ye because beginning no omu si bebre ni license nti ebe mi say wo a ni license na ebe illegal but si a bebre wo license omu si road wet ya register motor no bebre so a register still omu si illegal insurance ukita saniama we nyina still omu si illegal nti ye de pesanka omu nche legal one no na nka yemfa sa kwan no so se na be ya ebe ye yi ama because sa asem no na ye di tu jo mama enim na oka se obe legalize jo mama no ampasu metumi aka se 137 ni okada fo no kan na eba 137
anyway
yeah
and so far say na mutumi kika mon sa munya
mpacho ye mpanimfo na ama ye kwan se o de ade kwacha opani ana ama biase nyina hu ade kra o de akwakoma opani no enti no ye de koma present de Mr. Wani di mo
okay all right ya da mo say okay so no crowd ye na akasa enti biase mo se mo nka ska dodo amode koma GM nchire
na bi yentimi nka ne sisi
obet kasagum Penyin kasa penyin da won kasa okay michia etifo bia omutie kai yeah ena michia mo so amu wo studio yakopon ma content amen na yakopon bia kwa ma nyina na kure u di we kuma na odi ade ko chobia enye se oboda wo no bia ho se okay u ko chobia ade okay efri ye kuma m na ri ko cheye so ese ye mboda wo na ye obia ho ye hu dia ye di ko che mpeinfom se ade ye di ko che ni anka wan che kura anka ye muslims en yes okay fara se bie kuma dia che ye che mate which means more we are command no mo be follow up campaign bibia muginem
menu abobie say this for be man no kwan say this for man no kwan say dey na be si no ono de on kan kire so obeba no one jade aka ne maye fitting in pabo a wo de be ko ho akofa ne forms ne fuel a wo de be ko akofa ne forms ne car wo de be ko ne bibia true drivers concerned drivers okada riders aboso kan spare parts dealers ye be fa sai kan nyina imunti ye ni ye customers ye be twa scan my excellence is simple
ye da se bebre se mo aba be sra ye wa ase nyame nchira mo ye da mo ase bebre
yes ye da mo ase na mo Bobie, yeah, but the Ruby. Ama yenu anu moto phone na say ahonkyere nti ama amanfo dwen bebre te so mo ride moto wo kromo a omo nti omo bo ase se ne be ya obi mfa ne san emfa me san
very important very important the way microphone bi be take shum hey bama ya botro ana offer e be fa sa kunja we susu ada ye papa akufu dampare asi because on normal be there e back akra because you see how papers ye genu dia and I will show helmet ya obi ani ho be ha omo ha no oba bisa particulars u di kirepe a no mama master gina red yen so pa master gina because red ni so na ukwa and na cause accident you see police in how traffic bi red so a gina yakupo ma yina asunjwe me da obi ase yes we da sebebre okada ne taxi drivers and etom kan yada mo sebebre live on Accra 100.5 so yeah the say omo and omo nya koya the say omo ye there so it's obvious campaign mood no mu na adena asha ase no yeah said ye push ya ye koba ni nyina no at least at the end of the day eja tame akwawa
you commander me just
bogode
enyam yadom
ma men koma ora rexoma akwawa akwawa
ejo suminu ya na
nyam yadom boko tame but utie taxi drivers ni okada for no utie
well, Kwabena, a very sad issue, and my member, my basso, I think, if we are say, near ultra sanims and the church, sometimes we bet me to an amobi, a baby, a becumuno, well, Tennessee now, general one say, a son out China, and Koye, in tea, na, I was a sign coachi, na, oko eto to a chi ye. And I think that's exactly what has happened. Kwabena, and some of what I say can sabe me when dream ye pa. You see, the level of deceit. What for this group of people more abamuno. Kwabena, sabe in say politicians there. Na politics na da kakra ne kasade kakrabu. But we more de call the different level. We more de no. We more de no. Just say
atrapo.
Just say what describing in you see what you say that they are just serpents. That's a word that can just cap. They are just serpents. The deception is just unthinkable. Say political campaign. Come na politics, It didn't in politics. I want to say because of the livelihood of people. Say they are not to bread to homophobia and cophobia. No. What you say? And nothing in politics, no. And see politics, no. No opponent be the policy be ba. Now what na say now as a policy me opponent the be. Policy no ebe boa alleviate poverty as solve problems of society. You have to support it or find a way to bring out a superior policy better than that. What you say? But yonko the policy policy no eye for more browa for sebi some motor riders no uti almost stories nibia how e binum echi motor sada show mo ho awie university aye masters. What you say? Enti eye odjuma ni o man nim enti eno and so conform kakra is filling a gap, and so open the policy abaso be legalizing. Na say we shall not say policy no a good enough a to assume it's a man comfort to what do you have to offer? Find a superior policy that will counter nipa ne de no o de o se dey bi ma me nko frɛ nkɔfo na me nko daada wo mo
but can I some the two be the big buy
Kwabena, I know the person who brought those cars into this country.
Really?
I know the person. And your project obi or 10 project.
Oh how?
Kwabena, you see, and Kofo he said me come once a man. And you be na obi more there by you my vice president ko chiche. Obi cars or there bo cars in your modio. And you don't about me amon Samuel and no the cars nearby you. Obi cars a private person cars or the aba.
I see.
Or the back room I see.
But I heard Baumia saying say or no what call say China say
Kwabena me say me Kwabena and you be see me minim ebi anipan on perese me ni be tuja minim nipa or the cars the back room I say or the cars and ketwa ne buy any omo project any omo na de buy. The person had an idea. Say sa moto na our system ni mu no ebia there's a way or no na idea ni say the motor was a bit too risky.
Okay.
Inti yenya smaller cars a bit me and you know I go through traffic easily. Oh naka ye de abana no as substitute inti ebia wa uchu moto no ebia obey no work and pay amamo. What you say? But because the cars were in larger quantities, he needed some assistance from maybe some people in government to be able to bring the cars, clear the cars, and what have you. And we are concept, no. And I'm call that motor for no.
We are concept now. That's something nipa lazy up.
There be set nipa. You see,
you want me who cars me to be.
It's a cars na there. A private person na there, but obey na there that. Kwabena ena because o here more.
So omuni nipa na nkasa.
Omuni nipa na nkasa. The nipa who here na say nkofo no announce say omo be replace motor with cars. Because hey. Eti onokra no into onokra no ehu ball no because he wanted to stop and obitian say master jai wo ye businessman otian ya na afi business how ye kra no o ma be how your election period so enti kan no tum and your kan no tum and omo ko dada. That is why the project did not succeed because any more idea it is not for them. You see sebi who no dey hanko for we who they how nada atro chese and they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan of anything. Oh, come now. Oh dear. Unya idea bia. And no monko susu idea bi ho. Ube ho tina about me akwa now. Me say, sir, your friend say, ba ho me de. Woni ba woni businessman bi ana obi ne ba me ankofo ne bi ko di nkomo. No, as soon as it's open, so you say, what's about me? I say, I buy by you.
Ebi, correct, ebi, any, your friend say, rental, BBB.
Yes, rental will. Obi project,
oh.
Rental scheme, software. Obi project.
Now.
A private person. A project, no, Makofa. And no so wants them or buy and check.
Sir,
and no so wants them, Boba. You see, they don't have ideas, Kwabena. And you see,
okay, maybe a cast ni bini coda. Baumia no na de buy.
And you Baumia na de buy. Oh, come let me see me ni po de back out the buy. And you Baumia na de buy.
Meba. Coda ni BBB Coastal Development Authority Drive.
Kwabena me say and you money de buy. Oh, Kwabena.
Dabio. Me grab picture ni bi Uncle Rex say ni me grab picture ni bi am that also.
And you know me dey abo we and you paint no ma painting wa kire. And you try no ma kire aboka no. Me say no me na de cast de buy. Obi de cast aba no makoya adenabo omokoje omokofa project omu je fi nipa ne sema yo no de we bobo ho ano me na de cast ne buy because the person who bought the car had a direct link from the company who manufactures the cars.
But you freeze when you affair you freeze when you
ano me na de buy. You see, they don't have ideas. And come now, you see, ideas in the agenda they say ni baku for team. And private sector, anybody an idea ba. Now say abaye team up na yenya. We mo de onim. Unya kan idea na chira omo Santa no mako tenase.
But more a GR4 statement on Kusibu Atini, you know. Anyway,
a kwan bia on befa so a ombe no bia no bonso oma fast no oma you was in wow what the idea ne buy no wow ususu ade no wow when your vision and Kwabena you see there's no way obi idea obi awaso enya ne idea to do something
so we are want me nya
that and succeed because you did not birth the idea. And that is why a lot of their policies are failing because the ideas does not belong to them.
Almost we are normal
saying. Almost we are so nipa na or birthday idea na they don't work with the person.
Anyway, before Uncle Rex, thoughts on this, Reverend Kusiba. What would you for responsible? And okay, Fatos my, but Okuja to the at 20 ABA. And my main comment for the main discussion is about Dr. Bawumia trying to distance himself from a Akufo-Addo mess. We turning for an argument or more any other argument. But the question is so the economic waste no away we're fine. Okuja to add 20 ADB says here and or say our unimpeccable tracking of President Akufo-Addo's latest foreign travels to Germany. And Ethiopia reveals that he used Ghana's presidential jet for the entire duration. His commendable conduct saves the suffering taxpayer some 6.5 million Ghana cedis. This is what Ghanaians have been demanding. Okay, so Osai Betro or Betri I can confirm from okay, so the same thing, the same tweets now. But almost on my way, says jet in a way. And he said, the ultimate to quay. And
almost says jet in a way, says, Hatam now on friend to quay jet, no. A dear from son and now, yes, the same jet and other countries, a friend say, on the Ama, upon we are not upon we are a using.
What's
that? Oh, Sanya must say, Nayana, Sebi, as a film, and throw he would chat and throw back. As a so chat another and throw. Now the save us and trying to get chance. So because we can't throw us. The question is na just say you should Ghana sika anyhow. Ghana for Kasai no. Say here to kusi 18 after the one say Ghana or private jet. Yeah the nyamiase so I start to use a friend say presidential jet you know. At least a basic with taxpayers a friend say some money.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Jerry for you what the buy no. 3rd February 2023. And I was some Okuja to a black one and Allah. I saw there some who da. So okay, so omo ma okura Okuja to a black one response. Or throw to GRA and omo man a response was a request for information. This bears reference to your letter dated 25th January 2023 with reference number, so is there blah blah blah, on the above subject in which you have provided two distinct taxpayer identification numbers as belonging to the same individual. So pursuant to the relevant provisions of the Right to Information Act 2019 Act 989 and the Revenue Administration Act 2016 Act 915 as amended, we have verified the two distinct taxpayer identification numbers as captured on our total revenue integrated processing system and wish to respond as follows. So you have one TIN number, that is the P 0002502682, is registered for Victor Kusi Boating. Date of birth 7th September, right? 1971. Mother's maiden name Agnes Atta. Date of application 13th August 2013. Identification information, driver's license. Then you have another one in the name of Kwabena Adujemfi, which is the P00627241X. It's registered for Kwabena Adujemfi. Date of birth 30th December 1960. Mother's maiden name Yajemfuwa. Date of application 16th March 2016. Identification information passport. But the pictures, thank you. The pictures no the same person. Kwabena Edujemfi. Then you have Alliance for Social Equity. Anyway, but your thoughts first. I said my way. So it's very interesting.
Kwabena, on my way home. Adia, saf case me di actually pa ma follow na. Adia is surprising me pa say. This is a criminal case. Why is this man still walking around? Why? Because enya nipa hu bia som kwahwe aba bi onam ba bi. And all the case by you, a whole parliamentarian. Oku jeta black kwa no boku jeta black kwa nye obi a obekwa ko fache se ehrudu ahorada sembi e de abeto abonten. And with all this evidence at hand, why is this man still walking around? What is wrong with this country?
But or your president prophet.
Your president prophet, so what? Is the president above the laws of country? No. Is the president above the constitution? Sabi ye criminal code, you know. That as I said, a binum a hiafobi na chiomo. Just how they only link to the presidency. The question is, IGP, with all due respect, why is this man still walking around? This is a criminal case. This is not a civil case. Like I said, it will be married court. This man must be arrested because what he has done and the evidence that we have. Se obi foforo bia na kwaya sadie we a obi foforo bia na kwaya sadie we a so oman sadie ebe ye no se obi a oman a yetimu a emra na sebe e protect oman na se emra ne nyina di so ma menkyerɛ the difference between enipa ene emmoa ene se enipa ye hyehyɛ mmra bi like constitution se no na ye nyina ye hwɛ so near de aboye bra e wo man yi mu what you say emmoa omo ni sa mmara ni bi etro omo yo bibia anyhow but the way Ghana ye niema no it's like chese emra no edi binom how can one person the same picture or their register companies be two identities.
But I don't know to me, yes, I don't know.
That is what I'm telling you, and that is the kind of country we live in.
Because with a dictization, no. Immediately you better pick a year or fingerprints, information, and blah blah. There is no way to me as a baba. So how come? What happened?
The whole situation is see, sir, on my way, say I'm sharing the way I near man or home. Embarrassing. Say. At the end, say if Senipa Baku bet me a call, no cough, wanya two things, two different friends, a date of birth, two different friends, travel documents.
Yeah,
I mean,
but ASEPA, my own ASEPA, Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability, 20th February 2023. So the Criminal Investigation Division, and there's a criminal complaint. Against Victor Kusi-Boateng pursuant to Section 251, 215, and 132 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960, Act 29 of the Republic of Ghana. So, where your complaints are, but lucky for us, we have the executive director of ASEPA here, so which means there is no need for us to go through the whole document. And my member, Minia, Voma Oliver, Kwabena, they must fix the country, Akwaba. Minini share 100 years. Chairman Akwaba. Nyami adom boko.
Nyami adwuma na ye.
Ye buso. Nyami adwuma do. Now Tamale, what to say?
Shema. But I loved it. Tamale, dear. I mean, Tamale is home now. Something took it now.
Yes. Me muse okobo wa.
Na ye adwuma.
Community engagements. But we are there. Okay, so yes, it be bit brofo.
Dodo na the banli. Nti no me na ma me translator.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Mission be answer come on.
Oh, come on. Okay. That's good. But Tommy, I say if I want to police station.
Kwabena say yeti krom ha na you say obi akọ tweet wo Facebook keke na police for enam edi nachi ehwehwe nipa na che no. For the past 3 months, Okuteto has been very consistent, providing express evidence and information about a criminal activity perpetrated by this Victor Kusi-Boateng. A police for you, said the Omunte, the Ekosu Krum has said. Enti na ehun akohia say eto da police for say oh na who is the complainant? Enti we the omanya complainant.
Wasem nyina. Se okuja to no a nko police station. Wo be kwa ba no.
Say no. They say no. Obuza police for say ade no omo enkoche na. On say but who is the complainant? Who is the complainant? And they say no omanya complainant. Yeah, the petition akwakoma the CID. Kwabena on 3 issues. They kind. Section 251 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act. Kwabena T or say a person commits a misdemeanor who with intent to defeat, obstruct or prevent the course of justice or due execution of law or evade the requirements of law or to defraud or injure a person or to obtain or assist in or facilitate the obtaining of any passport, instrument, concession, appointment, permission, or any other privilege or advantage, endeavors to deceive or to overreach a public officer acting in the execution of a public office or duty. I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Kusi Boateng at the different date of birth, different maiden names, different informations at their common public officers, one at the DVLA to obtain different 2 distinct driver's license, 2 distinct passport, 2 distinct tax identification numbers, 2 distinct your friend is saying national ID card. Your friend is saying
so passport or driver's license.
And now back on the buy
a Ghana card.
Ghana card. Nipa now providing these 2 separate informations.
I'm if I've been 2 hours so. Was this Pakrona said the 2 different names are registered different
companies. I mean, wow. What you see here in clear breach. We enyemena me kan emra no. Section 251. Kwabena owie ye no. Onu enya ho. Say obi akoka na asem nti odi nipa ne court. Or court no rate no. Or say we provide a dean Kwabena Edu Jamfi aka Victor Kusi Boateng. Wetimi enya adwene criminality. And also you file complaint and also section 215 or say deceit of a court by personation. What kind of section 215 or say a person who with intent to defeat, obstruct or pervert the course of justice or to defraud or injure a person endeavors to deceive a court or a judicial officer by personation or by false instrument, document, seal, or signature commits a misdemeanor. Kwabena, what court? Wo the fraudulent document are fraudulent identities. Enya ho e de sad fraudulent identity no court akosi obi. Unsura de.
So say AK double AK no antiase.
Unsura de.
What the counterfeit abotori. That what you expect preaching a wonom. Na yiri fie we kai ya wase abodo.
Ya che wa hold asem no court.
This is serious.
Imagine.
This is serious.
Unthinkable. And so far the court has not issued anything. Because they say, Kwabena, in what identity, which of the identities is he using in court?
But what crowd we has a AK.
Which of the identities?
Practicing lawyer. Mensa Avenue Oba. Me pacho, who court I say AK blah blah blah.
The only time I use AK is a police watch you. Maybe a police watch you, maybe I would info defrauding crop. Be I who say only the same person near the AK at all. So why will see you be part there? How the AK can hold me who be that?
Ebi see that.
Na you know what for me there.
So at the end of person oh yeah.
What for me there me by my chair more in for more studio.
Yeah.
Na onim I say when me throw who be and me that Thompson say somebody say me police for I police for. Say in some ways see nyina no. Baby a enye citizen be na be sorry aye bibi. Nema investigation do a black wire ato online. Ghana Revenue Authority and Kasa sorry. I show more systems more. And we say 2 identities will have. Omo try man the right information request by a more reply. You have the information. When you say the pana formra, munya hwe. Register of companies. The different identities are registered companies. Sinne omo kan hwe. Over DVL for so still omo kan hwe. And say mo say in institutions na wo ho na kese boy ho ban no. Na eno no omo ye den.
They are all complicit.
Me ntiasio say ye ID ye go grow institutions e si ho. Say ka o man na ebo ne bra ekono. Na institutions we na BBC aka mehwe yen so. Mehwe is public interest no. Omo nyina yi omo ni se bibie omo hu we. Eno e mo anwam kakra mom. Na eke no de kokot na say bia na ga emo sirimu. Asene bia no be say o kire say bia no adwen kese. No de kokot na say ke bia say na court bu ni gu faso na ga say o 2 identities na ye recognize. Me hu me dwe wa me ntiase. Lawyer di ni mu so me ntiase say o we
but court no so adira court timi G2 mu a omo eji sa edin tum so okay agi atum ye be ye bibia ma say fakọ saman obi no why
say ode we a civil matter nti wo ko file say say no court nyantena asem
okay
nti wa file wo ho me sure say ayi for lawyers no ko me challenge okay no dey ban. But the most important thing no and Thaddeus Okujeto lawyer no is a very good lawyer. Say me put the kamenya ko challenge ade friend standing standing say wo ne hwan no aba court no nti mo bisa ne senti we no ye hwan here no chance kusi no no dey back court na say kwame hwan no dey edu jamfi no dey back court ho no me enche ne pa ko original court nanim because I'm one mom and unim say ye wo country bianca nyama we nyina e fa ye ho e fa ye institutions ho a ni say ye hwe no kwa gina court ye de oye nso bi no time echi enye kwa obi ye bibi say wo Ghana na say ye nka ho hwe a enye kwa companies ni bi a ono akọ incorporate ye ni bi no enye say companies nso a na e fa ye a ye de ye underground payment na cathedral
exactly
nti penifo ni mu bi omo ma ne diplomatic passport no ni dia da secretariat no so ye Reverend Kusi Wabuati. Yeah. So man diplomatic passport or another name. In the one name ni pakura mo ni dili no. And so this and that idea is secret more system name. Because the different names no mo share down
but the question is what is he hiding?
Unim say the nature of your system no. Who was try to deem you not me bebre. For instance, what's under procurement law say no ho. And say the company will be all be for project B.
Yeah.
I say more than 3 companies at least to be bid for the project. Nipa insu the different and incorporated different companies. Now Mrano under the companies law not say you have to disclose the beneficial ownership. And so 3 companies say be Woody Musea, say be Bobie 2 companies. Now the 2 companies in a bid for project. The shareholding of the companies they won't say Woody and Wase. Won't mean for 2 companies in bed. And so no normally no ho a wo se bia dipa mienu different people na mababede enya no nam so akonya ayi contract for under cathedral for supply of you say your friend is saying kitchen tower ibi no okay and no 3.6 million e ditua no wow so it's not there's a criminal intent behind it na eba criminal intent the one be say o hwe asem no oppose for Attorney General until we call report here yeah
but okay no wunya penifo no CID
so omaje petition so we hear petition saying that here into all the
to enyina we come on
all the documents attached from GRA from passports from
everything to kusibu ato nkonkonsan kwa wa
me no go be to me guys
all the evidence are attached
omanpanyin ko no say John no onko ye dem ye no they get complete go ma post for ye why ye come back come see yayera no me am mo new one ye come back be am see yayera me am mo new one so they go be bebre to
anytime on say we know until me share that mo bind dey no what is a book we book na me
okay
untime ka se book ayera
okay the ekura we say omo de na na so de so ayera
enyira we enyira
ye me na
masa your copies bebre Ghana
I don't know go computer so na me print here
okay so computer na here
enyira
o computer ayera fa yo
Kwaba ya judge.
Na ni nya ego black Facebook so you like about
they are online most of this information. Kwabna the third issue. Yeah. Defrauding by false pretense. Section 132 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act. A person defrauds by false pretenses if by means of false pretense or by personation that person obtains the consent of another person to part with or transfer the ownership of a thing. A false pretense is a representation of the existence of a state of fact made by a person with the knowledge that the representation is false, without the belief that it is true, and made with intent to defraud. The criminal intent that Oliver was talking about. All national ID cards belongs to the state. The passport, the voter's ID card, the driver's license, everything belongs to the state. And the state has provided procedures and requirements by law in which you must obtain these identifications. Until when you go and you misrepresent those informations in blatant violation of the requirements laid by law to obtain ownership of that identification, you have violated Section 132 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act. And that is why these are not small for one person. And where just the obtaining of the card. We haven't even dealt with the usage.
The companies.
So there are two issues: the acquisition, which is through fraudulent misrepresentation, and then the usage of the fraudulently acquired documents for other activities which he has directly benefited from, and also to deceive public officers, not just locally but internationally. Who the diplomatic passport?
Can you imagine?
Wakwan fraudulently, deceive in
the name of Ghana.
In the name of Ghana, what are you doing? And this is not an issue. I say police for etenase ADD agro. They must arrest him immediately.
But since Baumia is involved in this, it will be very difficult.
Say Baumia, is he above the laws of Ghana?
Is Baumia above the law?
That's Baumia nipa and Baumia sin the deal for no.
But he's not above the law.
Is Baumia above the laws of Ghana?
But Kwabena, there is one critical issue I don't want us to lose sight of in this conversation. And the issue of the voter's ID card. The guy was able to acquire 2 voters' ID card with 2 names.
Can you imagine?
Kwabena, when the EC was compiling the voters' register in 2020, one of the principal arguments for the biometric register was that once the system captures your biometric information once, a second input of the same biometric information will be automatically rejected by the system. How did Victor Kusi Boateng succeed in obtaining 2 different voters' ID cards under 2 names with the same biometric information
in one body?
How did that happen? Is it that the EC themselves were complicit? If that is the case, how can we trust the Electoral Commission? How many Victor Kusi Boatengs did the EC register in 2020?
This is serious, eh?
How many of such people did the Electoral Commission register in 2020? Kwabena, I don't know yet. One whole day topic. After we deal with the criminal aspect of it, we will now go after the institutions where these things happen, because this is biometric. Do you know how much we spent on the voters register? When they brought this the vendors to IPAC, I was there. They brought tallies, the people to come and do, and we were told that it is foolproof. Once it captures your biometric information, any second input of the same biometric information will automatically be flagged. System name flag. Another system flag here. How did he acquire that? the Electoral Commission have serious questions to answer to the people of this country.
Anyway, all right, so that's it live on Accra 100.5, and I think that this issue, but another issue, correct, who follow vetting no?
Me follow Kakra.
Who follow it?
I was kind of sad because, especially with a friend say Adansi MP, what is his name? Katie Hammond. Look, Charlie, this country, it looks like there are some people who takes this country for a joke. Because honestly speaking, to start with, any serious government in this country, any serious government, what's that situation? The first thing I saw you say, or find ways to reduce the size of the government.
Okay.
With all what we are going through, and then we are not need some MPP nibi pa MPP guru. It didn't come up. Omo nyina command what because someone say baby ade na duru no. Aje gon. O say Rex, ma men kan no crunch ro. Baby o man na duru no. Say ye economy ne de apaska. And na auto ne bo ase a kire me niamam ne de ekoso. Nam say so why can't you tell your government to reduce the size? Onye bibi na Ghana for who say. So I say economy ne kra na they are trying to do something. O say I didn't know who were no.
Obi and two
I can't patre be pay on making decisions for Ghana.
Obodin
Can for yata. Gabi watch that pass and be there true. These are the people. Akufa do the omo pay bibi man now. Just on 80 years or now on the jono. Omo pay bibi catch na na omo ya the omo pay. You know. So what is going on is sabi in prediasa.
Yeah.
Sankrofo ya sako form some kotra Ministry of Trade na. Ede na Katie Hammond Ministry of Trade. Senka might be a serious Sanka by this time no enka abana trase joining some of the ministries just to reduce that. I mean I don't know. I was watching a friend say Big Sam, a friend so could you black.
Yeah.
Any your friend say Randiabe, Dr. Randiabe. Now I'm mention positions say what the Jubilee House. I was like I was ashamed. What is going on with this country? What is going on?
Anyway, mamiya quick comments. Raman for messages on the Abana Afidian Koye main so. Richard Aqua says, Commander Boham, I just got money to buy data, so I'm now watching you live from Tardy. All right, so thank you, Takrade, for Woody says, will be all the co-chiefs at the vetting to show support for Brian Champon. As I'm serious. Well, Patrick Ngetia says, Ketiamon is just a joker and not serious enough. We should just ignore him. Yakubu Nelson says, things are getting serious, Commander. Okay, so we have Eric Ofosu here. Baba Muhammad says, Commander, check your tuning. All right, yeah, better check it. Amount. Another tester here. Okay. So Kwabena says, Bobie, Reverend should be arrested. Yen Keno Ansah no majele. I mean, Henry says they will get the documents when it is against an NDC person or any ordinary Ghanaian. But with the MPP apparatchiks, hell no. Tahiru Jarrell says this criminal reverend minister may have multiple bank accounts under different names. It's possible. That Aqua's guys some who or complaining about Gamro, and I don't know what. But I know so you won't run your man.
The thing is, your friend is a Gamro now canon. If he has any issue, he should bring it up.
Exactly.
Me kasa about national issues, Biano. They should come and attack me with Gambro. But then, if Gambro no say my big criminal or now will attack me, it's a different thing.
Okay.
But the question is, Gambro is an institution.
And now I get you.
We've been audited by even the auditor. Gambro, a private organization, but we've been audited by the auditor general.
Okay.
So anybody who has any evidence, I dare anybody who has any evidence, Mafa Gambro 1 CD. Okay. Come out. Now we just want to almost say ya line MPP for just say anytime I make a ban was in Biana. Now go Gambro.
Who will be a Fabra now? Let's talk about it. Anyway, so some Bamfo says the most dangerous among the Reverend Kusi documents is the Ghana card. Why is this man of God using 2 Ghana cards with different names? This means a lot of MPP members can acquire more than 1 Ghana. Hey, see 1 ebi or 2. Okay. Now, Judy Mensah says, Commander, okay, so we are here. Jennifer Boache says, welcome, Oliver. Few baby. So this one is coming from Jennifer Boache. And Jennifer Boache or Toronto in Canada. Moses Tavos says, vetting of appointees should be done in closed doors. Those chiefs can be an influence on the MPs. Ralph Ken says, these are the criminals some Ghanaians voted into power. And they are in power just to loot us. Prince Attack Rufi says everything will end after 2024 elections. Anyway, Benjamin says you are doing a great job for Mother Ghana. Thank you so much, Bobie. Thank you, Benjamin. Mamenka Davis Maison de Beauty. One more Australia enchro. Now the woman say one more was park pa unisex. Bema Oba. Omoye eye pedicure bi ene manicure bi mo person musiesie mo samore musiesie eye monnan na monnan ho ne mo nsa ye kama na eye debs ade a omo eye pa se eba se womo mfa eye beauty and therapy services ema omanfo on se eye na onipa onyini yenso do wani matwintwam. Yay say you tell you ya meme say that black spots be a man be wa bibi kra na e be fa nanim keto bi na black spots be abananim me pa cho Debs say omo ye ho adwuma pa afei omo electronic massage won afidie wo so sa beties na video mato kama omo normal massage and omo facial and body treatment na omo products na omo dia ba body soaps and facial creams me pa cho so wutie mi a Ansah ho omobo empanifo ti omobo enkoda so ti ana ope eye home services special pa ombeba abeyama ni titru ni massage no upe home service ombeba abeyama was from I was 054 157 3775 me pa cho she number is Mr. Watro 054 157 3775 and I say 0555 48 43 46. Okay. So the woman say also bet me have visit omo omo Instagram and I say Facebook page. At Davis Maison de Beauty. Ubehu omo eho. Madina Race Junction on opposite Glory Oil Filling Station no. And opposite. And the one name Race Junction. Madina Race Junction. So Glory Oil Filling Station no. Oto wani say ya obo wani say Davis and so omo ewo na omo ye adwuma. Afei me pa cho mo ankoto enema mo ankoje niema na anu mo ankoje Lotus Gallery na omo no omo enema hodo so ho gift shop. Lotus Gallery gift shop. Open so cho bibi open say mo be parcel bi komo obi and then no ya so be nantiako just a matter of call and I say the call mo various platforms so mo Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and omo WhatsApp numbers. WhatsApp number is 020 770 5030. On sabet me akaomo but on Instagram at Lotus Gallery GH on Twitter, at Lotus Gallery GH on Facebook, lotusgallery.com.gh. Unsa betimi aka womo na no mo edim komo. All right, so yenkotie yenua Gideon Boako, and Gideon Boako on Asempa FM. Juma.
Oh no, who nim dia all round. Eti me de what now? Na woni me akabom. Na sa nipa ye do matoto to ano. Omo na omo sign whole contract. Okay? Omo na omo share execution. Omo ne civil service for engineers ne ye ho adwuma ne ade ade. Na mum aya omo fa report nye den. Emre na yenhwe bibi nkoyi a na yenkire omo so omo nye den. Omo nye ni yi. What am I saying? Eti aya individual ministers no any government agencies no more demand or more bono and a sum up by you the total effect and as a performance of the economy. It is not Baumia. Somebody about my office, yes, I check your my contract to we don't execute project there. But what Chance say as a vice president, no obey extra extra hard at the new ideas about into be say bibi to say yeah this I know how to buy call China co negotiate Sino Hydro. It was a fresh idea, nobody had thought about it. But a bias here implemented Sino Hydro, a Ministry of Finance, a Ministry of Roads. Patriot Merchants, or being how Vice President Office, or you're part of the implementation of Sino Hydro. So you do say a sign contract and Vice President can only the NSA. The Odiba Buani Ra, a Kufado near Bine say, Nimdia Wakusku Akusiani de Wono. What did the new ideas beba? Ya buy 2017. Now unemployment, a big issue. Yeah, but unemployed graduates association, it took the vice president on then the office team. Say, Abaya Yaji Timbone. And you man Crofosi and when you buy an intimate criteria. So what do? It took young people in the vice president office, including the vice president, to think outside the box. See if we be to send up Kumbra. Preoccupy. And the man setting hope will be about Mabuna Waganaha and they created 100,000 jobs in 1 year in this country. It's outside the boss thinking. You do say you implemented NAPCO. And your vice president office never implement you. A certain ministry be and the year say Omobaya no my in ye. O my in year. Obetaka so vice president the idea ne buy. But a home implementation na ankasano. And yet vice president okay? It do say yasu. Nkofo yare won krase ne ade ade ntimi fa ndro nkoho ne nkro ne ba ambulance so ndo so 55 functional ambulance pe na wo country na Ghana obi a apejana say yen hu kwaya de be fa so. It took the vice president out of innovation. Say you have a zipline drone ra ya de ba na nkofo di na tamu kan sam go no so yes ne ade ade. People thought it was not possible, but you see here visionary leader. Now we're thinking outside the box. We're branch of one who know the solution about. Yeah, the solution by a zipline by a Minister of Health and then on the banner FSO. It's about me and the wine who say well you're thinking machine for the MPP both in opposition and in government. Okay? Now all the ideas near there, nearby. Now you're shiny, you're free.
Okay, all right. Okay, so quick one. You've got here, Frank, I don't press on Baumia because we are talking about the current economic issues, also the hardship and everything. But you've got here, Frank. I
see Dr. Baumia running down the economy. This is my answer to him. He should go and check the cabinet architecture for our government. It is Yura Alanche Martin is the chair of the Economic Management Committee. Of cabinet, yes. Well, I'll say you on side. You can challenge me.
Because of the position of the then trade minister?
Yes. No, apart from that, also because of his experience. Okay. He is the Economic Management Committee of Cabinet before he resigned. I see Dr. Baumia running down the economy. This is my answer to him. He should go and check the cabinet architecture for our government. It is Yura Alanche Martin is the chair of the Economic Management Committee of Cabinet, yes. Well, I'll say you on side. You can challenge me.
Because of the position of the then trade minister?
Yes. No, apart from that, also because of his experience. Okay. He is the Economic Management Committee of Cabinet before he resigned.
Okay, all right. Okay, so my started with Oliver. Oliver, minimum so akot tamale. What if last week you're dealing with issues about a Niema Boer, a CD dollar CD pounds and but question amount for Busa in all this. Where is Dr. Bawumia? Because at the end of the day, the same person who Ansah be the president. So at least say where so have been my Yosemua. Where is and it seems like now Dr. Bawumia is sitting somewhere and Akufo-Addo and the government are messing up, so it's sitting somewhere.
When you answer na MPP Baba, I think 2016. 2016 election. Na MPP asema no more than Chrome ne say John Mahama ye incompetent.
Yeah.
Na the incompetence no more can no. Na nyese bia na wodi BNI for akobo ne mpena bi. Or the BNI for akobo ne mpena bi said ya omampanyin koye sewa broni. Na nya no ho asem na no more kan. Na economy ho asem na no more.
Omampanyin koye sewa broni dia.
Say I said with you.
Anyway, I'm aware, sorry.
Na nya no mpo na ye economy ho asem na more kan. Say dollar no what 3.5 anything no na petrol so nam 3 or 1 anything no say oye incompetent na nipa no di omonim na omo no na yo mo show boy omo de nam no obo asemu de huro MPP buy be Ghana be ye dollar no be call $1 1 Ghana na ba omi na di anim no mo se wa ye adwuma wo Bank of Ghana pen no ni me be Ghana sika nyina ahyehe nti obo bie so nyina ama mo ehu ama de ye Ghana yie ni nyina na ba omi na di anim na ayi omo tutu omo ye lectures awo university ahodro na ba omi abema speech abekire say Ghana economy no ayi omo ho say John Mahama ne vice president na se tekpe omo say bibia ono de onim se ne ebetumi afa yentuma pa afra ono be di anim say how many years? 6 years ni ayabemu to see no nyamana economy na say obi agye atum say economy na say omo ka say mu mpo no no mo mbeso mu yiba omi afimu no omo agye tum say economy na say na de mbeso mo chega yanfo ne say solution no mo ton ma Ghana fo 6 years ago so no na ba be di animu ma ye economy ye no say na say ne de omo say nyonoa ano nka hu bi no ya mampanyin abedi akire ye mampanyin fi won ne wo ho o mampanyin tu kwan a ba omi na di ade wo Ghana why acting president for several times okromha no ye head of economic management team onu abeyi omo ka say solid team no ahyehe no ye omo senior economist to cabinet de bia say ye de say nyono nti kana for party e muti asem ye na de na ye na ye mo say obuben pa na ye de mamo as Ghana for anase mo adwen mo no ye question mo adwen mo se mo no nyansa na enimu anase sen
o party se ba omi amu ye ya na is that what
the whole party now be gina ka se ba omi no for 6 years na ko no na ba be di president onam your lawyer ni onye economist.
No, but now you heard a friend say another
say yes
enye Bawumia na head of the economic management team
WTO your economic management team and what subcommittee of cabinet.
Okay.
Subcommittee of cabinet, the individual ministers and the vice president, because vice president here overriding supervisor. What's here? In the economic management team now, no, it's bigger than economic subcommittee of cabinet. Subcommittee of cabinet no, echo dream be one. Economic management team about no for them to approve.
Okay.
So there's no point say be ana ye be bring microphone so. But whatever the case may be, Alan Chamantino a trade minister
yes.
Over 6 years or a trade minister. In the economy ne say ya ono so kan hu bi. Ye ndimi ba ku fim enja ba ku ho. But ono sheba omi ase. No. Ye kan economy Ghana economy 3 portfolios. Head of economic management team.
Okay.
Vice President Nedano. Finance minister and a trade minister.
Okay.
Those are the key foundations of our economy. And when you crack home, agric. eka ho nso mo say economy ni mo no na say mo nyina eyo mo nim so mo sa gudi Ghana obeso medi mampanyi wo krom ha na den potin no mo ye tam mo wo ho a eno no mo aguguduru ana say so mo very Ghana for bo ni mo bo a eti mo ngasa confidence mo be gina Ghana for nim say obeso mo edi president me he me wa pa kakra so fe obi betimi be gina woni pa ka kire wo say your vice president mremu no and the way our governance is organized no ono na head of economic management
Gideon Boako say ono de odwene ma aban no odwene ma aban ni wi a de aka ne bia enye na asem bi
na we nti we no betia bedi obabetia be mampanyi because o mampanyi no onya ono na minister o mampanyi no ono nam de bi otutu kwan no ono no wo a wo ye no mampanyi na dwuma ne so ba dwama o mine no na me your friend say ni full soldiers by implement na wo the waka no ticket no ho no enye se ba be gina ho abe tourist abahwe mframa mu no wadwuma ne se mampanyin ne ho na wo na be marshal troops no because even by practice no even though constitutionally ye aka efi certain peace council police council ni other rules and our constitution no historically in this country nipa or head of economic management team or known a supervisory cabinet has always been a vice president. Ye akata manaka Rollins time no na if anything PV Obing na PV Obing handle cabinet office. So the reason why I'm dey buy Yera Atta Mills as a tax lecturer no to come ahead was because now Rollins no the role as president no man nya ho kwan and the maintenance year. So they needed a strong person. That's the role of the vice president. Obetimi manage bibia. Who role back on here as vice president no. Also dream we are the aka nyina mfa ho. Now be president we are now be den. Because president no what man say by dream we ja hoko. In the south no na who play because of man pay no tell am 8 years. As no na baby akra no order. Into wo na wo dream ama no. Nso na nyama ekose na untimi control nya hwe ide a na wo be pay dem biom o sa be dream more na say wi awasa ka say nyama na me implement and so ni fa ti we asem we to yaso na yiye
o de nabko aba nabko no odwene bae no odwene ye o de bae no o de ma wo mo se nabko anye yi a it has nothing to do with him also there be drones. Say drone anya it has nothing to do with him already wadwene so which means oni nyansani or MPP mu and it seems Jimmy for energy and normal concern that is what he's trying to say.
That's exactly what he's trying to say. I mean in first of all Nangasa no the role of the government okay yes oba drink keke oba implement
yeah
can no kwa ne konkoti na onkote ono ane imani ni bi no so ndengu from him. Was the whole vice president who feels that what you manage about dream my MPP now? Who dream we are not just a more Macau MPP no best almost say again until we knew we are one on your Mabaya Jumano. And also we knew we had what we hear in this for no Mabaya implement Yamano. Was on watch them on the party for non SI dream Pabia Infinity Muba. I don't know. Don't try him, you're not something try. Or more with me implemented one because no already no bought Nanado Dankwa ne over 1,000 ministers in Egu baby. Because I saw no dream we are 1,000 ministers in Omijin and Bugu. In the on train, Senia, or we knew we are one moon on your mobile by Jumano. I don't know who I am, pa.
My member, Debbie and San Maba, Uncle Rexo, and I am say Baumia and Negana Fooding Komoka as in beach day.
Look at the economic management team. It is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team. In fact, can anyone remember the NDC economic management team? I am sure, I'm sure they themselves cannot remember who their economic management team was. Kukrudu, fellow Kukrudites, we were elected to fix the problems, and I'm glad to report that we are fixing the problems and we are putting in place the policies that will drive the economic transformation of this country. It is very clear that the economy is beginning to respond to the policies of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo. Look at the economy.
Okay. Agrex. So that is Bobie for you. I mean,
Bawumia just have a big mouth. Now, look, make me say the failure of Akufo-Addo's government, especially in relation to the economy, I'll blame 70% on Bawumia. The reason why I'm saying this is, Obianim Akufo-Addo, a lawyer, he doesn't know much about the economy. That is why before Mobeba power, no, isn't Bawumia now all come from one place to another place? When the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. I've worked at the Bank of Ghana and I know the money is there. All these things were said by Bawumia. And then let me go back to what friends say. Anybody are intelligent. When our idea, no matter how innovative that idea is, so the ma won crofo na se wa hu nyansa se obe supervise na wa evaluate ya whether idea na de buy no serve the purpose a wa fail. They are talking about NAPCO. How did NAPCO end? Look at the amount of money we spent. This same amount of money could have been invested in the agri sector and can create sustainable jobs. It is on Bejanaka say, already no general the idea never no implement here. So we are vice president who the idea about no implementing and co year and found and the president there see you. The whole situation is, look, when the Bank of Ghana started printing money, where was Bawumia? When Bank of Ghana went against the law, started printing money, idea we time on printing 100 cedis, 200 cedis. Now I'm saying, asemesi, this same Bawumia during Kufuor time, redenomination. The same Bawumia.
The same Bawumia.
What you say? So far as I'm concerned, Bawumia is a liar. He's not stable. He doesn't even have conviction. You see, so the whole situation is, as much as they will try to polish him, how can you disassociate Bawumia from Akufo-Addo's government? How?
Yeah, but that is what they are doing.
And it will not work. It will not wash because it is impossible. Most of, look, Bawumia akasa ewa Akufo-Addo abamusa Akufo-Addo na moon.
Oh, how?
Of course. Wakasa bebrasina Akufo-Addo na everything he says is a lie. In fact, MPP for nyamenyo amado na muko vote Bawumia ma ne me lead omo. Ho no mbo said de Ghana for ehun musuban afa. Sabe Alanchira Martin, he was handling your friend is saying. I mean, just like,
to me absorbing from
none of them can absorb themselves from the Akufo-Addo's failure. Look at their great minister. I mean, so a day now why you Ghana ha concerning agriculture and office say as I say to abandon money be or minus. What has he done? So you see, it's politics. Let them spend at least Ghana for Benyom Sikan Kakredi, because at the end of the day, Obia better than a lock. But Bawumia dear, wa fail Ghana, wa fail on one home, wa fail Akufo-Addo government, you know.
Now,
so they shouldn't try.
But mame, metia interview be. Enipa na okasa ne say, baby a gyina sisi no. At no point, ena Kenufuriata no ma Bawumia getting involved in anything.
How is he the vice president?
Well, it was an interview.
If so, a vice president, the second in command in this country, now said finance minister, he should have resigned. Ebi or resign this time say because they are not allowing me to do my job. Kaibi Okasanki Beti. He was enjoying his post, tagging along, lying for them. Now you can after our friends say myself mine we know baby now catch and say what?
I see. Mame nya juma we mra sisia quick one. Mene Nana Ohininto, former General Secretary Edema MPP and special aid to Ora Alan Chamatin. Nana ma.
Hello.
Nana Otubenka.
Watching very faint.
Very faint. Mpachoye. Hello, Nana. Mpachoye. Me macho metonka pa. Okay. All right, Nana. Yen den komoke to be. Se si ana mi tie anodom pre. Anyway. I'm back to the studio. Chairman, now what floor?
Yes. So as I make can say, there is no way about me bet me I yin who free Akufo-Addo failure anymore. In fact, he is the epitome of that failure. Even though Akufo-Addo did the bush for of course, I quite say sebi and he near kunyato fee. It was the only offer singing me and of course they will not listen to Baumia, but the question is, if they were not listening to him, why didn't he resign? He's original my Ghana one. What Tenasima must say, yes, Penino Transima as a dia effort, you can't say before our home. It's more mamma can't say, and his speech is not no he was speaking to protect the rot. So why is he coming now to come and friends say take himself out of the rot now, no protecting him? He can't do that. He is part of it.
Yeah.
I make us I don't know what Ghana for campaign ye no. Ye no ye message ni different in a working way, Me dream one at what level no bit me bet catch Ghana for say me na me vice president no. Ye me ato nchen. I mean to me nya ho hwe, ma nya hwe over 6 years. And no me main defense of senior economy na say no. Na Ghana for be hwe ni pa say na we bibi woni team. Because a child say economy say I say no vice president Kodaya no to me be now say na say economy na minimum hwe nti na wana mo na say no. Exactly. I how for that to be obi main campaign strategy no there everyone say what it me be kase me na ka me o mampenya be de akire no na yi mi ato nchen sideline me nti no me nya ho hwe.
But the point is, if you are not or be before be or deep president to bet me offer.
Oh, say agrobe so if you are not pa. Now we are vice president. We are vice president of this country. Only your constitution now you're second in command. The highest office in this country you nanado feel now. In fact, you know, you're elected government, you're elected vice president, never a president boom. And the nanado Baumia government, omutu no government ni, and then the Babakon government. So there's no substantive difference the constitution between the president and the vice president. The difference in him. Then to who vice president now it's went to me and Neshe for 6 years. The economy now has gone from stable to worse. I so bad from stable to bad. Because it's Amray. What's who are second in command when me and Neshe? The mayor first in command. And they say you. We are second in Pona go do Benzoe. And you first there. And I say what say no cry. Can we vice president? Not first year, second year, send another money thing and go year no. What's my cream home resigning? Because send a government in econo, send a muyo munyama fano. Ghana no a best say. My ideas will be to me and I'm to me in the year into my cream home. Say, mere person, me Mangasaba contested Matina ye. Uno matter last year is a kitunya way in a way, Magana go do the edry. We I'll say, and I'm a dreamer, a buying a sideline me. Naga no ya small boy near ye pian watun chain. Now who fast didn't who fast so pa in the 6 years for the government then anyway.
Oh no so ordinary
no so ordinary no. For that kwa some okay no. Mpese ne kasa mafo nyina be omo meka nto ho. Se no mo execute napko fire. Ne na adwen ye no. Difference e wo no omo kan no mo nto ho. Aban policies nyina no so no dwen no fefefe beto ho na se ne execute ye no. Onye no di. Ne nyina ye njage. Because on any contribution so they the government in and agree on it by and the agree on doing any for policies number 2 on intimate judge no on the basis of it. Near say napco no or designing they say almost 3 years now you be from microphone nyina more be complement your public service and as say no drain on fire almost executing but see who
ma menya dem ra na na yin into ase aba ahomaso na majo yo nana medase say waje me so nana me so nana okay nana na me tie ora anodompre oye MPP MP ena no o kire se situation that you wom sesi a no ni nyina ne yemfa mo ora lanchamaten yendumi mfa nhye eye Dr. Baumia efiri se o hwe eye sikasem ntotuye abedwaku nu a ora lanchamaten na da no enti dan ne bebu then me kotie Gideon Buako also making the same comment though one mention ora lanchamaten but what he start saying is say because it's a Ghana for busa baby ya babedwe no your economic wizard no away your economic messiah no Dr. Baumia friend no away but then me tie another pre no ene ma me efre minim so what you don't pre tape no na me busa say another pre tape na make am one some what tie
oh mate
etimo say
oh na say I'm the one or two people will be a year and then I'm going to say Yabama Asamna Kakoda because media say Nitie will be a young member of parliament now or Kasasa Nitie will be a on vice president and a Juma Dr. Gideon Buako no so cadio or no Kakaya in fact you cannot grab patch or man in Palatum. Na enye no mfuni nyaye se bebi a yigina tisia se yina jitum se enema enkoyi se party a wa abaru na yenhwe entity ya emze no mu mbabo aye echen ye MP ruana dontre ene do ta video mbo akọ keke ni ni se na babo because it is Ghana for can say abanya otishu wode nia ekosua ehaya dwen ho nhyehyɛ ibi ana ho mura ebeba na yemprentu we so na se yesi yehwɛ nipa okuta asudie ewo aban bia mu a di kan ene o mampani na nkaka president no so for her Ghana economy and no more and commodity and no more and some kaya it's time to say campaign time is 2016 ever 2020 vice president Dr. Baumia and amount for anyone no one can so said there we can and some quiet Zenia no pese papa bi kesi bi a odi bi Ghana enenti na na say eniema ye de a ne ebo economy ho so bo a ne de ebo no na se ono no ye economic management team chairman obi ani na say na ye nim se economic management team na se economy a prekope afi de ye am yenka asemu a ekinya eta asumu yenka asemu a Ghana ko fati ye ti you know so to be a woman to see you kwan anything yura alanja matin o free abemu pe ani na oje I don't need to and I'm more possible to no obey NPP, Frank Tufo, no obey Ghana Montani. What did you do? I'm not sure. Say, I buy the anyone or bar or no one but me. I saw you how you know I buy from a bar. A job for being wow, obey. Now, me too, I need to give me some person bear Montani. I didn't see me. And she say, but the baby. And for I say, or bar. Or MPP need you, MPP are very much to a bar, and you may do a one. Or ban a classroom, and go for the another people. Now, name my thing is anything. Name the MPP Kuran and say about the year of buying after President Kufuadua. And the Kufu be any part. President Kufu the year, you put him the account, but I give you. And I say, party for ever. Party need to want to be Kufu beer.
Nana, 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 Hana and Komono was say a baby or Maya Bedri. It seems say, would ye Mampeni Casa, would ye Aquala Casa, would ye Obia Casa, ya bedru baby more ding. And I'm out for you say, Dr. Baomio, Alanche Matio, or Mokwa pray. What are they coming to do differently from Nanado? Whether Baomio, whether Ora Chief Alano. Name Kase. Name Kase. When question Dudronwa e Busase. So I am bia baby ya baba bedrino. Say aye Ora Alanche Matio, say aye Baomio. They are part of a current situation. And they are for Frobio and Omobabe. That is the question on the street.
Hello.
Maybe I told me too.
Up to time in free Abemono or a minister or your president, not your vice president. As you know, president need vice president too, and a son of minister. To me, so I pay him. This is what's only the idea to be here. But then this idea, no could a woman on say, will be a president, and our president, I name is Shipua. You two new, they are different. I tell you, be your minister. And no one is a minister. What do we need?
Okay.
Minister. What do we say for two presidents, the new cabinet? President Kate, yeah, and I'll be it. President Kate, watching a Yapa, and I'm in the memo with a penny. It's a president for Bristol. And a rural enterprise development program. I like Martin the buy. What did you read? President Kufuor, President Kufuor, you two, not the year to man. And it's Bobie so, Oman to us. President Special Initiative, anything for buying, Oman to us. Yenya pay President Kufuor to pay him. To be any say, one to say one factory. I like Martin and the free rural development project, and a better than 1 to 1. And a President Kufuor to get in here. And so first day, and almost all the first day. President Kufuor to show a bunch of my say. A woman said 1 to 1 factory, a year, a human, if you money at the idea. And to me, with the Aquasha presidency, oh, Jubilee House. We have made a trader, and then a bit near it. The president that I told you to me. And yet, I crab, and a President Kufuor is afraid of my to say, and some Ministry of Trade and Industry, and I can't buy it. And also, no President Mata, and the president to me, and the minister to me. And she can see a part of them. Now, the no credential who question on the media, mean you are being said. Oh, Russia, Martin. What see, men to when you are different. If you did that, said that she's never video my minimum. Let me video my minimum, but people need money then a waffle. Money be anyhow. After all, President Kufuor would be present here. No, President Kufuor, I bring. I do, baby, no, 100% would be president. But you from Alan come, other people come. On the contest primary. And the Kufuor, say President also. na ye corporate primary na minister di esibo enya chenje na che se so tena ba nim no be da for the campaign no no so the team for one no ya me boa no ye candidate no be president o tumi je e so so ko boa na
yeah
and you know sister anyi me nyina no na ye ja eno no chenje na fe di e ha o man no ye nyina ye mo bo o me dem so se sa na be
na mami musa asemu ya nsa na wako 1D1F nana are you successful 1D1F are you successful
oh na me na meka o mi die mu into mi gidi se wo an kasa so bi ho dan here over 200 industries are ya shishe under 1D1F no near above 100 there from the statistics are mean any record ayen no factories ni bebre juma if you have any have if you have you but they are 100 there this district caution na judgment we say no say we try need na party for pro and na 2024 omuba be mu na omuba no mu see there bi eno no nye priority ana mpo fa say nya lanche maintain the president ana ni pa for wo free MPP no what say nya no me priority over end and so me dey me sha send me alanche maintain team for two da say you sika sem ye $60 and some we are entering in a din na nyina aye he atie ba ko a etumitu ho na mo yie ni ko ko ho yie e be bo ayen ene se eniema ye de ko amandone akoton no ye be da mi ani na enya ebo a eso me fan se koko so de koko akwa amandone ko ton se koko abano a ewo bo a edie wo de chocolate ana wo de koko butter now the kwa eno so ebo no ko nani timber wo de biana ne mu ni nyina de kwa ebo bo edie o pa fa ne de yenta abo a ebo ko nani wo de nkonya ene mpa ne furniture ne ade a ebo no ta ko nani gold utu ya na wo de na mu no ka kwa buchira wo be ne skade na si you to be that any refine no eno no scan ko nani ya sign the jewels and na bibi asisa industry any value addition and as my thing say tanya man yewo ni na bi o hadada enti dia kan say wo benya president a or dia no be ye na team pocket years ni focus president dia woni focus president ko for ba no na ti ka sem no atete abanzam ka akwan ani da bibi anye kura ko pe me na so for hybrid and some poverty economic stability and some obeye infrastructure kakra and an time so and this for buy and this everybody away woman to us and the president Kufuor to Shaba or buy no or see free ticket if you see the little pepper FM and other things and you know president be aba or me no see the at the or na na for being any or my
I see.
All kinds are. Experience or the free timer or yet ambassador to America or yet embassy consultant, my United Nations or by yet minister, President Kufuor time, President Kufuor time, or no one yet you say, you see, Cassini, go car, go car, yam agriculture, ever tight a free not a get the Mutra. In terms of national view, they are a year, against a Christ room, could be me about.
Nana, citizens should cry from your Darcy Bebre. Ami. Okay, but Oliver, it seems say woman na more say I didn't mean Kufuor. No, that is the argument.
They say, I don't know, dream my Kufuor and Amboa. So, say, one, you know, no coffee by. Yes, you're a Kufuor. And I'm a dream my Kufuor. Yes, and so you're jiffing in Seneca executing or presidency. They said, last time in trust, and we said, Tamana, a World War II, and Baba ending, and a German in Nazi for no. They said, Nazi penny for you now, sorry, I'm saying, million, I mean, can't be. na me follow orders keke na me dwane no munyina say yi om ho film eno bi ne ye hu no enye me ho say ya destroy economy na kosi se ne ya destroy na afa ampanyimfo ankomoda no omo ye solid economic management team no obi asare say it wasn't me adamu ye shaggy anya me ho pa because one bit me agi asinebo by nye ayi pesemin kumnya nka wo asema si ko kotena baabi na ka MPP no mo ko yi different people anka omo nka ayi ho se ne party ne be gina na aso biom mpo no ntini wa wo yi omo a omo nka mess ho no mo so mo mbra bi because omo ministers o yi nyina no MPP fo dudu no wo ho ayi omo ato nchen
yes
omo so ka omo ni ideas ni bi wo party ni mo ametima bi party ni so mo na so na so mo best ani so we mu ko say ideas so mo ana omo be rebrand omo ho na just almost have a present omo back to Ghana for ana I don't know if you know
Agares it seems so obi adwane say on ka ho
until we have the men no eno anie sebi o say na make no enye me nwanwa say happen sir because oko Jubilee House na te say akunya tofie it is a lot of decisions are made by the family Akufo-Addo Asante Bedi etuo ne Kenoforiata na Gabi Ocheda konso ne nam ho baby it no these are the people and na make say any serious minded person like Baumia so a vice president now would him say na ekoswa sabi me na me observe niam bebre edru baby na say afeso na say finance minister kwa koma your friend is say okosia parliament na why man reporter there are several occasions but a vice president bedru ho no what ho twen a friend say finance minister vice president o odo be kwa do parliament not what twen finance minister look
so it tells you
but the question is all these things that were going on no identity about me and me and sinibu anka say me do my Ghana to me amodi asha me nsa no madwini pa me se me wona me person ka me boa ma man ko nanim no ye ma me kwenti ma resign na se watra se na omo koso mess ni we no asa ba begina bonti a defend now we are because I won't come on say isn't he still the vice president of Ghana until one was supervising for all the loot all the economic mismanagement until one was Bank of Ghana through Ministry of Finance Oma flat to the friend say Bank of Ghana Act no Adia Nankese said they shouldn't take
more than 5%
of the previous year's friend said gross income. Meanwhile, Oma Buswak to be over 70 billion Ghana cedis. I mean, what is going on in this country? Now we have a gas. What can I say?
My example back home.
Yeah, give me that example.
Nyama one of the year na Baumia nkrofo ne kan say or drink keke na nkrofo ko implement it.
Yeah.
One of the things are na eda Baumia ni so or a rental assistance scheme. On one ko inaugurate here, on one office no mo execute here. E go be echi. Website mo create here no. Go try no copy and paste. Obi website no me go so. Nyama no mo promise ye nyina ko bi say mo oh na say a website no mo create for national rental assistance scheme dito no mo go yi wo private company website no mo di ko gu ho adana mo launch ade no na nkrofo de that website o mo say rental assistance scheme na abo omo ni omo yere ni omo ba na say na de ye bia no ene ya na mo say abo omo dada yi ye ko hwe mu a say copy and paste omo ko yi gu ho
so obi
company and na say website nka no IP you know every directing to Nippon company and omo de Ghana say coat of arms ato ho no mo use you could be saying one oh there be na your company na de dada na government na hwese na ni se kona ombesom no mo rebranding no de Ghana flag afa ho but a Nippon company or yen ho dada.
Charles McCarthy editor the Mother Hawk newspaper and I think he disagree with so many things here. Charles Akwaba okay but now so open quick
I'm about to Oliver. Commander, Oliver, a lawyer, and to know Obeboy, on quite the Harvard tree. we say offer constitution now. Article 58 is clear. As powers are vested in the president. The vice president becomes useful when the president is unavailable. What is it? Constitution is clear. So that's for me any functional. This is final and then and you can crack your one. IMF negotiations with. And that can afford in what capacity? And could you do a bit of the now you walk a path, see a resolve problem, you resolve your challenges. Then the chairman and I said, we could be our chat in that same way. What can you brought on a your father and woods? You know, you must be. And anything they want and you're gonna unite and I put the soap and it's not as a minister. You know, Baumia cannot be absorbed 100%. I buy failure. Yen to say a Yanocrese Baumia and opportunity. I need to make a so ye. And no history crabbed says the son of vice president is a tier. That office has been useless as far as I know. Over a Kwaka, over Atanos, over Ali Wama, John Mama as vice president, Emisata as vice president, and you're clear. John Mama became John Mama when he became president for 4 years, Leboa Monka. Atanos became Atanos when he became the president. In that office of the vice president, I support the call by former chief of staff, because emphasis being so.
So Charles, what point me say? Baumia and me anye dear so ye because one man acquire mana yet. And now say with economic planning or just say enka nanado tukwa no what take it over. Which is which?
The constitution the president that you won here and not done for who say or your power and now deal be moved here and then I call you Yenny. So I say, and a Juman is about me. I get to say your bone quite do a nezu in opposition. Wakasa and them the economic theories in as for obey vice presidency until implemented. The question is, has he been given the space to it? Because then you can offer and I majority from my assessor or better won't put I have e-levy one non passing. My young choir within the Bibia.
Yeah,
we are IMF. That is the point. And I didn't get Sanet Muni. Was that Uncle Ressi cannot do Vice President the can call Parliament, Echo Trade Minister, Uncle Sanet the City.
Okay, Uncle Rex will be Uncle Rex will be so send back. Uncle Rex.
Yo, me question you know say. Seba Umia wako school eduru achiri. Na Akufo 2016-2020 more campaign na Baumia na lead all the economic theories in asefo. Na say you be a odwene ne credibility ho. Any reputation ho a. Now, if we are to go by your argument, identity na omoba power now propose some theories, economic theories, need solutions. Amagana now by any man the crying yajumano. Now one resign. If said no one said that she be or better Ghana for any more DBA. Now what na say what can who so between Kanjan Semi Kobe man Kabi. What now for 6 years in you are still the vice president of Ghana. Now and then, no, what try baby no, why yes, some my friends say communications be now or then you know, it is so far as I'm concerned as an ordinary Ghanaian. Baumia doesn't have credibility. Say the more can say na ya man no kind na say for no. He had every opportunity to resign if he cares about his reputation and if he had wanted to lead this country. So resign ya can Baumia Barobeka say may resign because enema na me pesa me ye no o ma me kwan it say me repam na fe na me ka obi abeti na se ba say there it's too late. He doesn't have no credibility.
Okay.
Uncle Royce, I'm not speaking for Baumia. I am only let's situate the argument of a move on. Ideally, I think situation so BBC a bit resign. But Ghana, Africa, how many people had a FM? How many of such people do we have? Maybe I will. You get it. Expect an American, a pianist who is now hearing to a better satisfaction. And I think him is campaigning for Alan Chamantin. Alan, a fee a bear muno, and our Becca say a neto. No action, talk only. But when he was in government, he never said neto. Opportunity be our Benya via, not defending our bank. As Africans, as you need new way, after my mother with Dania, 1 million powers, my main, as people that we are, the names are the end. I just watch there. Now, can see me party resigning. I'm correct. The Minister of Finance also in the kitchen. Yes, yes, coffee or something. I get in it. It's your mindset. It is a situation. This is issues no right. So okay, say next year. Let's deal with this. Minimum Kazai, Baumia Council the president. That official statement is not out. And we are all presuming say yes, Baumia will be the president. So maybe a flag bearer and Simon will be. At least Alan there, or there are 2 years of or your flag or your president, not a flag bearer. What is it? Or resigning, press conference or hold you as officer or your president. And you know, automatically, or your flag bearer. But you must be a flag bearer before you become a president. That if Ghanaians vote for you. And I think that we are running ahead of time. I don't know.
Thank you for your intervention. And Oliver, you heard your brother. A point of law.
First of all, no can be about say your manpenny executive power in national manpenny.
Yeah.
Constitution Article 58 also say vice president. Or manpenny vice president ne can ho. They are elected together. Now, can be in 30 years of our republic, the logic of a vice president, has never been questioned. Okay, for the first time, MP informed for a opinion or canasem, Baumia Bodemboa, was it the position of the vice president in a useless position? A Jananipa Bakusu, then the Mobodemboa or the bow position him, yet to make sure as a position with ye, Yinko. Now, even the finance minister, I ain't ampono, obey Majina on Cassie, any finance minister, and free or any position and free. Secondly, so Nanado, Nakofaba, Umia Baye.
Yeah.
Kagana for the Obian, so and name my Ubiasa, Obabajina ticket Biaso. Nanado Nakofana Baye. Nanado evaluating who said Nipa way, no bit me a boa. Said I may boo mine, or no bit me a boa me, near to me. Now, who says another no be president we or no share all the options available to him, or when I bet the chain or see where the Omuame into me find country home.
Yeah.
What does it say about Nippon Nakasan, the president Nakasan judgment of the vice president? And you mean Namu?
Yes.
Or no Kofane buyer, or no share Nippon Kofane buyer and the one them bo or see Nipa way dear coming in a tune train. No, man, I'm vigilant channel. What message does that send to me? I'm not sure it's going to mean Jumano. Now, the vice president, Juman Pono, never you soon to me, now we're paying with presidency home. But you see, the problem no more. Last point, I said, I'm come well. Second, last but one. Or can be say, I am not way, no, I am very about it, particular about it. So nipa na what position ni mo and me and show the integrity required of the position. And from Morgan for you na before you na say before na any integrity. Kwabena Donko and resign wo kroma. Or promise as energy minister say it mean so we do within a particular time or be resign. Or resign here. That was integrity. He's still a member of parliament. That's integrity which is demanding to all your vice presidents now was waba. Now the opposite way to improve the lives of Ghanaians. Say the economy is saying pass kata. Never do we now to me resign. I was going to for you and son yet. It didn't mean cry in the say me. It's not to me. We ain't competent to me because me incompetent. Not some man granny.
No, but I don't Charles McCarthy it's obvious that the way I hear it's training, you know. Yenisa, okay, one man.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think there's a situation which is created. Tama Bas Brandon CEO Mahama Breswi. I think Jifat Tivo se wine and you know
the late Jifat
as transport minister. Elvis Mokoye de Omuye Brazil by no. You know. So even the leadership, the person who is supposed to be in charge of the ship, no lack of a year or one, show or the direction of a show. No, but the leadership, like I said, the obey be an and found. So be bokron, no, so be the offer and fashion home. So that's why I do baby Adri. Charles Dubois here said, no. The first thing, Mampenipo Ankasa. But we have a releasing statement. Said the AC and on only Mushe. Now the first thing demanding to the president say on Saki Charles.
Yeah. Okay.
Now say all the things happening no. Want to me exercise that authority and power. And to make recommendation and Saki obi. Many partners so can say Saki no. And don't tell me 2 million no ba umiano as vice president. In the name when Yamana say no, Obejana Ojina and China say, let me need 2 million and a vice president and not president in the ABBA. That's impossible. That's very untenable.
I mean, a typical example.
Yeah.
South of I can say we are not paying how close the man is to the vice president and the president himself.
Yes.
Yantikro we say, man, now my woman at BBC, a friend said, president and our friend police said, somebody must be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I didn't have a that's on them from her. I didn't know that's not
an issue.
I say,
Charles Diana.
Charles and one Diana could not be so happy. Yes, I think it's either football Yantechana somebody. So Obi Koye Bibima
Yanteji, you know.
I am said Baumia
exactly.
So the whole said you buy in and saying a container port here immediately they release a statement. Say guy no money baby it wasn't authorized or may you know or may you need
what you are saying. So the whole situation is on to me man me can't you say only authority Krana you can even suggest to the president. And the thing is me Kwabena Yewahi.
Yeah.
And Fahuni Sikabia the Bamam said my employment station and I say Rex where you man say or best supervise Bibia cost pepe. Matthias ye na me bana say sebi say wabusu ni owner of the station and na adwuma o de mam say me meye no mama me kwa ma me nya me din hu hia me sene bibia like as masa for adwuma for sika. That is what we call credibility. Asema na papa ne ka no, we cannot continue and say Africa dey sa and Ghana dey sa. When are we going to develop? Yes, we are nipo. Bibini so nipo. Adwen we yetrimo. What are we talking about? Ade efe ye tu kwa konkrofo kro so ye hu de akwaso ho eti untumi kan kire me say Ghana de sa na te hafan na resign so what credibility na pese da chi bi se obedi so awo kweso on pese odi Ghana so bi wa ne onya onko no yo sa ne time so na okopen ba bi atena ba so pese so abedi Ghana anim ese so prove kire say he's credible.
My main say no ba bia ye economy na dru no Oliver. Yeah, quite. Because it seems like I don't know some cry.
You know, one of the things I can't on is say in the next election in Po, na yenim de besi se MPP wini na NDC wini na omo wie sika abokro no anye bibia amfa ho a NDC na obeba no obe last for only 4 years because already the two things economy na say to the point say within 4 years there's nothing the opposition can do to revive the economy. Really? Yes, I don't think so.
Nothing.
Impossible. Finally,
after
now only the no.
Okay, tell.
Because of the money we had the war chest on my prepare to hono in the 4 years no. Omo between mo biom. Say no mo ye even anymore 8 years in boom ye omo ye with Baumia no. Omo back biom. Abegina the same economy am say no to criticize the NDC government. And the monies they have stored no, they will be made be used to contest elections and be competitive. They'll pay their way back into power from when we in 2024. And I generally believe, sir.
So what do you expect from a year
now? No, forget it. Economy they say, but you have to be able to set an example. Say nobody should come into public office and get away with this thing ever again. It has to be seizure of assets. It has to be prosecution. Everything you have to do to set an example. That's what you have to focus on. And in fact, the vast majority of what people are saying is that they want some response to show say we as Ghanaians, this is not what we tolerate. That has to be the focus of any government. Punishing people. They are father for all your money be media. Me say if NDC wins in power, no more baba yes money be within 2 years ground NDC appointees are lynching. Because people are so angry at the level of decadence I am.
That is the signal you are picking.
Yes. Because people want to see an example made of people. People want to show, say, if we are really morally opposed to this there, then what we do is set an example with people who have abused the public confidence to this level. Nobody should go scot-free. This is the way forward. But one of the things, and this is the biggest challenge for the NDC, the entire judiciary has been packed. The judiciary has been packed in that 4 years to frustrate even attempts to prosecute. Forget it. Theo, forget it. The significant powers with Yoko. The significant powers with a special prosecutor. Those powers must be activated.
But you go back to the courts.
Forget the court. There's so much you can do in terms of asset freezes. Go back to Parliament. Because Parliament never know. I'll be surprised if the opposition doesn't get a landslide in Parliament. Pass legislation that gives you power and authority to freeze assets, unexplained wealth. Uganda mpo, unexplained wealth. Malawi. President fighting corruption using unexplained wealth legislation. You seize assets and let the people come and justify. But the thing about money in this money can always be traced.
Yeah.
If I spend the money, I can always justify so much. Adam from the bank account on chair or no money there. You can always trace money. If there also be scanning for baby, just show it. So if we don't use those powers to get back and get the people's money back and to be able to punish the people involved, then there's no way we are going. There's no point. There's really no point because when you're coming to, there's no kind of fun way. You have borrowed to the point where you've lost credibility across board. The IMF money is going to be a drop in the pan. There are few investors who are going to come around. If they're coming around, their hope is IMF money, will be used to pay to offset their debt. So what are you going to do to revive the economy?
Masa, are they happen on my way? Gradually, Ghanaians are losing interest in politicians. The truth of the matter is, Ghana Fofi say both MPP and NDC are disappointing the country, even though NDC is far better off. But adia bema Ghana for enya reshemu ewo NDC mubio, should we come to power, is adia minia ekan. Because you see, sebi in previous say Oba aban mu anase aban ye ma to me said the minister bi na the bibia. The most important thing is oman no ene oman ma no. Because after all, adwuma na dey am no yetua oka. But majority of Ghanaians, they go into politics, they scramble for friends a political appointment so that they can become friends wealthy overnight. And say anhwe saade ni ye na ye ba there are some people in both political divider omo pinpointing crofom nim so ma wi sika.
They know them.
Ye ba power no ma fa chire masa de na fa mu fa bi mranya sai be free. And Ebasa no makwaji jiska was anko for my US can be na they have access to a friend say corridors of power. Na ama adena ye bibi ngunguna yibi. These are the things that goes on behind the scenes in tia. Abai bi ba power anko for my US can na omoni nam ho. Acha 1 year no makare. You see a US can the number your man ye hwe. I plead your mahama 4 years pay. If this country will be saved. Obia odene sa bo man sika mu bia. So this kind of we have to seize people's properties, confiscate their assets, and jail them. And then Ansah set the example say, and some na yetia se ayeka and akufado na bindo esododo na se for no we should set example. Say amai no baby ayeduru no we need to wake up. There is so many. We have to reduce the size of government. And you'll be a benya ben wojumaye. And you'll be an obenya minister. You'll be an obekonya jumaka or Jubilee House. Ghana must come first. Because enough is enough. Ghana, we don't have business being poor. Nyakupama ye bibia dia kan ya yusuban.
Live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. There was some few minutes to go, but not to promise again. Did the ex-president Mahama resign as a result of his failed promises? The gentleman in your studio should kindly spare us this deceptive politics. Dr. Bawumia is ex-president Mahama and ND's nemesis. He will face JDM and whip him for come 2024 election. Become a problem for Ghanaians, and that is exactly what Mahama should push into the system, accountability. Jennifer Boachi says, thank you, Uncle Rex. You've made my day. Now, another one says, special tribunals no more setting up. No munya court no. But is it possible?
Oh, yes, we still have tribunals in our constitution. The one said they've decided intentionally not to be appointing assessors to go to the tribunal.
So and this bad they can resort to a
yes, you can put in place tribunals. Because under the constitution, Parliament has the power to create new courts.
But whatever it is, appeal court, Supreme Court.
So yes, the person can appeal. That's what I'm saying, sir. You have to use the forfeiture. Because when you're unable to explain wealth, you forfeit it. And there's a lot of things you can do. If you're really committed to fighting the canker we have. Because a state capture on the highest level. So the tools and the ways in which you fight it has to be creative. Me say when Obey be president in there with this kind of Supreme Court I'll create divisions of Supreme Court in other place. Bungrugu yo. Now my pejao.
It's doable.
Of course it's doable. Yeah, you move them. All the high court judges that were created on baby for Mungo share all those things. As to avoid political cases near the Babromono. You can do it. Because they know their people, they have groomed them to this thing. So you can create new judges have just been appointed.
So you can create another Supreme Court, maybe our Tamale.
Security branch. They will impanel them there. Put them there. Because we created a system where once you have a chief justice who is not driven by the rule of law, they can get away with all the things they have gotten away with now.
Yeah.
And I believe the current chief justice is not driven by the rule of law.
Why?
We have a court system which is one of the most corrupt in this country. We have a court system where continuously people have talked up, and I am a lawyer myself, And then one of the things I heard the Biamakasa me can't about corruption in the judiciary. And Gravo say, but oh, yeah, lawyer, ni other now, Casasa. Yeah, well, corruption with judiciary, one be who I am missing for. And yeah, lawyer for me, you won't court there be an on every time I sit with colleague lawyers for a drink or anything anywhere, that's all they complain about. But the vast majority of people in this country are afraid to say, say, okay, you license. Yes, because corruption fights back. Corruption always fights back. Mekata Manam War Constitution Review Commission. Now Larry Bimi, late Larry Bimi, chair of NCC. Yeah. NCC 4-year program B. I invited Ramona to Guba. Program no, me put on some of his remarks no core program no, and he went to talk about judicial corruption. The Supreme Court decided only Larry Bimi could never step foot in the Supreme Court again. Judicial corruption. A year to me by na anas eko ye documentary ni we no. Just a year crown on the one just a nipa no one video na ye kan ho no creda. What's the meaning of that? So that's the problem. The judiciary is rotten. There's no question about it. So if you want to be able to tackle this hot front, you don't have to, you don't have to play the game. Instead, they win at the game. Because I said no more year, it's a retirement strategy to pack the courts. But now, as I said, there's an alternative. There's ways in which you can deal with the judiciary, and it can be than saying. Sosu yeah spoke about this and I generally got council say Bejo license. What are you talking about? Ghana Bar Association criticizes another people. Ghana Bar Association criticizing, but never have they criticized judicial corruption or judicial incompetence in this country. But when you talk about the ways in which you can deal with the system, those who the system benefits, those who have been put in charge of the system this way, will continue to do things the way they have continued to do it. That's what I said my medical petition electoral commission. Electoral commission. Electoral commission. I say the call. Electoral commission can file a case with Supreme Court. Case na electoral commission can file it. No, me and serving me. Me put serving me a chief justice. Chief justice draw letter mami. Say petition me the abano. Governor the assembly. I'm about file rate Supreme Court. Satan pono fa the reason of the rate stated a friend of statement of case in Koye. So we don't even know the substance of it. Or they no send me catch me say because of it, he can't go ahead with the committee which is supposed to impeach the electoral commissioner. And the chief justice is sending me. In that distance, they are not asking for an injunction to stop the process. And so you E-levy Koye and the E-levy Black Wamo was asking for them to suspend the process of collecting the E-levy. Somebody asked them no. Suspended. But on no so the fact that we came to file a rate for 2 years now, dilly dally anomoye. Dilly dally. Yeah, the case, yeah. After Mudio. We are waiting for the court. The same way they did with the development case. So the court is part of the process. When I'm saying it's not driven by the rule of law, this is what I mean. Because every time the executive has committed a malfunction, the judiciary comes and services us. Remember our example be as somebody see parliament. Joe Wise accounting no come. If I say no muja a year asem no two baby. Jomolo asem two baby. And no mutie immediately gave judgment within 3 weeks. And so E-levy asem na black one court no. Yen shadow to this day. Why? Because we are using the powers. To say anumpo say asem no yen fam mampo emetie. You are twatching. Yeah, we won't even fix it for hearing. So all these tricks is part of the process. If we don't speak truth to power, and we get power now, you have to recognize the judiciary as a source of power. Yeah. And they are abusing that power to protect a corrupt and dysfunctional system. Obi can be me. Say individual bondholders, the pensioners, the same way. Say Anna Gorekufu. Say all protestee. If she was on the Supreme Court, Sophia Kufu. Yeah. Say all protestee. If she was on the Supreme Court, now the bondholders, the pensioners, assembled to our Supreme Court, she would have ruled against us. Say we appear on I ban no money. What be we advocate of wine. If the court is not reformed, if it doesn't put the court and the halls of justice to the service of the people, our problems will continue to be compounded. Because some American corruption semi in the way we can go after them. No, everybody's first thought is the court will protect them. Nobody is seeing the court as an ally of how we reform the system. But in terms of how we protect the corrupt, we count the court.
Kwabena, we are sitting on a time bomb.
I can tell.
Trust me.
I can tell.
We are sitting, if you go on the ground, we are sitting on a time bomb as a country. On Maya, majority of your population no a youth. The justice system is corrupt. Nothing is working, economy is broken down, there are no jobs for the youth. Say yan transina yan setiniama writer. Trust me, when the volcano start to erupt, it will affect everybody and nobody will be spared. I'm praying, said the next NDC government, Ghana, we should purge ourselves. We should purge ourselves because we cannot sit down and use to correct the system, to protect themselves. At the end of the day, what happens? So Ghana say me, I did not decide to advocate and talk about politics because I want to be rich. A friend say, look, Masa, Opa, any young Ghanaian be an income. Or my junior say, okay, politics, that's the fastest way to make money.
Yes. Anyway, my time is up, and on this note, Kofi Boakye says Rexoma's statement should be a newspaper headlines tomorrow. Defaulters and corrupt leaders must be punished. Thank you. All right, so 0302208090. Your thoughts, your comments. Quick one. Max Top Health Services. Omode aya Max Med Prostacare capsules. Aba Max Med Prostacare capsules. Omode aba. Hello.
Hello, Bobie.
Pacha, first of all,
Memoajo Faruk Tomani.
Faruk, Yankwai.
Bobie Medase. So, Unamaru Kuntia Ghana, Bibia, Benifon because he ain't Tumpono, and I Yakia Quenimano. Hypocritical talks, any hypocritical behavior. Which said the honorable members no more city Hokasas here. They are the same people ranting around, say, Ubia is. The same lawyer now was now all complaining, say, what they are big garage to air the politics. Whilst he knows, say, the right way to challenge the court system, and also he will be ethical, when you know the right procedure to go. He will not do that. He's on the radio. One other people out there forgetting where he comes from. So what did you say? Argentina won't try to correct the rot in there. But there's no propaganda.
But say Ghana for to come here Tibia, then you bet me a
he is a stakeholder. He cannot be talking like Menewo. Institution. He has a right. He has a bona fide right to challenge the system in there, and he knows where and where to go. So I just had no a hypocrite, no a coward. Such people should not be trusted. Who do case call court? On number is even here, or by elections here, or capture Ghana for say they went to court without evidence. Yet this man wants us to believe, say, the court is corrupt. Okay. Meanwhile, who do case court? You incompetently took a bad case to the court. Who we are not the court judge.
Farouk, Mamenko found another caller on the line. Nameka Max Med Prostacare capsules. Eya numbi. Ojon so basa. Bia bema na wukojo to. Ya bi wo dompe mu mesre wada. Max Med Prostacare capsules. Ya na numbi. Hello. Your first of free.
My friend Emmanuel, me free New Legon. Yeah, I've been listening to your program for so many years now, and I'm happy today to get you online. And what I want to say is that one of your panelists there said something, which I said today to my brother, that if NDC come back to power and they were not able to purge the judiciary, send them to the villages, then this country is doomed.
All right.
If they were not able to do that, then we are in trouble. Because these people, they have cost us a lot. I was in Doma 2019. Matter, what happens there? Money that these people share to people. you marvel.
Let's see
money
what
that
happens.
MPP share to people just because of election votes. If Mahama come back to power and he is not able to take the judiciary, we are dead. Thank you very, very much.
All right, you're welcome, my brother. Max Med Prostate Care. Max Med Prostate Care capsules was say effective. I'm from fresh 055-809-3123. Now I'm going to the hello.
Bobie.
Pacha first of free.
Busy. I'm not going to the first.
Pacha yanko.
Bobie, the year me to ask them pan and come here back. I'm more jump back.
Opani Pacha to us. Ah. Me that's it. Pacha yanko ko fa no da kola. Eclipse collateral se men kan che Ghana for some gusua eye adwuma. Eclipse collateral omu guso eye adwuma omu nyaye. Hello.
Hello Bobie.
Pacha first of free.
Bobie wa ko we are.
Nyame adom boko.
Me to voice na mani ati say. Bobie oni Ansah Avenue.
Ansah yanko.
Bobie before me come animu no ma me ba kwanya we so. Na me ma papa wa be ma mani chia. Oba onyanya 4 months. Today wa say 1 month na kra be no. Me bona ba so pa be bia sama jinu ase dun ka chia bi amitia no ne sami gensi. Na papa wona mkwan so ba John Dramani mama. Be ma wo su man sana wa. Bobie say o kai 4 years a obedi yero. That 3 years no we the or the no court ye no ma bebre as one pa ba you ma pa as share market as that $1 and so still infrastructure be bia Bobie aba pa be bia obia me ka tell say ye train no on the 13th of May omo de omo ska akwa to bet no omo de omo kwaje no man bet wo say omo take na enya adwuma jo mama na e de ne ko
okay
na Bobie uni bibi ya besra ban ya what you saw that black awate me no mo rest no mo kwana me meju but the way say omo tia fe Ghana no se se ti mam ko ye pre no e se se obebi abepa bia anura me tuna ba si me ko Madina the way man fo si kasa no as if say driver ni kura no otika no ono na efu ne papa na ye and I'm bet me bi say ma e trawa o mon ko finish station na mon ko bisa wati busumi bia ye tu fuel mu and the dollar net cents it mestre akufo do onka finance minister so on fani juma panto wono ma juma pa obo ma akufo no timi panto a wonjan
Matthew Sabe. Let me know cuz Bobie. Let me say my men go find another caller on the line quick one say be me last caller no hello.
Commander 1.
Yes sir, Pacha first of free.
Uni abe ma Jamfi Francis o da so man.
Okay, Jamfi yango.
There with the opportunity amanya tia uncle restuma ma me wate oni asepa ne lawyer ni ne de omote no o zentem no kure na no mo kanu wate Bobie ene the obe IPP ni no be gina o sebe omo ye college ye nchi anyansan wa Bobie nyansa sam na omo ka wo ho no so wate ase edinyesa wo ba ye nyina na ye bre wo kurom ha o so wate ase na mpanyinfo no court no omo no enti na akufo ado appointed judges bebre said oba omulusu a omo be dia mo nti said nkofo no ka retoma ne lawyer ni ne ka no ye ba sa na ese ye na ye chi omugum because omo wie Sikano ya anya said omo kan do mama obedi 4 years no ntimi se so ma de papa na say no what ya fear nti ye betre on pay so mo ba mo nye what.
Thank you. Ana me be say live on a 100.5 Citizen Show in Kangas in London. Baba. All right, so that that's it. Whatever I say, my production crew. various affiliate stations. And Rana Yemia Dankanamua birthday. I'm done, I'm out. Enjoy your evening and keep safe. Away.